Peace, peace, peace. Peace and prosperity to all the American Aborigines. Chief Holidays in the building. The truth is here. Um, yeah, man. We're gonna let people get on up in here, man. Y'all see the title: White Slaves and Black Masters. What does this mean? What's going on? What the hell is Chief Holiday talking about? So yeah, like I said, we're gonna let some people get up in here. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's gonna be tuned in. A1 should be coming in any minute, y'all. We were just in the back chat. Shout out to Aboriginal Power, man. Powerful build with the brother T West. Earlier, y'all, we're gonna talk about a little of this stuff, man. Today. Just wanted to announce that we had to push back the Sister Betty Love show. So she should be coming in about 7:30. So we're gonna shut this down about 7:15 or so, whatever. Then crank back up to Sister Betty Love show, Tracing Your Lineage, episode 5. So be on the lookout for that. Um, yeah, like I said, right now, man, we in the building, y'all. We doing our thing. So shout out to everybody, man, that's gonna be tuned in. Um, we got Chief Sabi in the building. Yo, hey, bro. Let me put the link in the chat room. Definitely, bro. You definitely welcome to come on and build with your brother, man. Shout out to Just Us. Shout out to RBG Tribal Troops Production in the building. Original Nightwolf, Chief Wahoo. Peace and love to all the gods, man, and goddesses, man, tuned in. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me put this in the chat room for the brother. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man. You know, playing with you. What you read? Huh? I did share. Gemini man? Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah, let me put this in the chat room. Yeah, it's the one where you die. My brother Indigenous Niji. Sorry, y'all. My brother Indigenous Realist. Shout out to Indigenous Realists. Peace to the God, man. Yeah, definitely come on through, bro. Like I said, it's part one. Like I said, we're gonna just kind of get into this part one of this before we get into the Sister Betty Love show, y'all. I kind of wanted to, like I said, I don't know if you guys heard yet. I'm gonna be debating Sister Renee, aka Miss Legit Part Two. And some of the things that we're gonna be talking about. Obviously, there's really no debate whether or not we're an indigenous people of this land. Ask T West, he's already, they don't understand indigenous, they don't understand Aboriginal. They act like when we saying we Aboriginal that we saying we Australians and all this dumbass shit. When Aboriginal only means the first inhabitants. Even if you believe that Africans, whenever they left up out of Africa, however they left out of Africa, made their way to America, still you would say that the first inhabitants of every and all landmass would be so-called Africans, right? Well, what would you be doing is you will still be going through your journey. Because if you got to understand the etymology of words, so we're going to be breaking down words like slave, right? And we've done this 8 million times. Yeah, when we talk about the etymology of the word slave, Slav. We go through all these things or whatever, right? So we're going to be breaking a lot of this stuff down. We're going to be breaking the concept down of how only so-called black people, right, slaves, and everybody else are servants, or Caucasian people are servants and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are the things that we got to talk about, yeah, as we trying to put this thing together, to break down these psychological chains that we have. What up, psychological chains? Chilling, man. What you got going on? Yeah, break these psychological chains that we have on our brains. And slavery is mental. Okay, so once again, they're creating um, word spells, right? So when you're reading let's just say, for instance, on Dred Scott, and the fact that we can allow anybody to create a narrative for us, right? That's the concept. They're creating a narrative for you, so they can say things like, "Oh, Dred Scott's an African American." Okay, well, we know that African American hadn't been created as a social political construct in the 1850s or whenever Dred Scott was moving around, right? So that concept didn't exist, right? So when we talk about slaves, right? Once again, that's another concept that is being put into this situation. So that's the concept that we're talking about, that we allow these people to create words and associate us with these words. So I've heard people, like I said, I'm gonna have to challenge Sister Renee on this when she says that black people are slaves and white people are servants. You're gonna have to qualify these conversations and make that make sense, because it doesn't make any sense. Because if you're putting chains, right? 'Cause they even get a little fancy with it. They say, "Oh, no, blacks were chattel slavery." Oh, okay, so that means that when you put chattel on it, that only means for black people. No, it doesn't. Chattel doesn't is not exclusively for black people as well, because when you look up the whole concept of chattel slavery, it just means traditional slavery. I mean, what does that mean? If you're a prisoner or you're a slave, right? According to law, according to law, if you're a prisoner, of you've been convicted of any type of crimes, or you owe money, things, you could be put into debtor's prison, certain things like that, or you can go into a, a contract to say, okay, I'm going to come work for you, right? Labor, I'm going to come exchange my labor for something from you. Okay, so that's slavery. Okay, like, can y'all imagine, you as a slave owner, right? You own some slaves, you own 10 slaves, and then somebody come in and tell you, say, well, you got a law now that you got to pay your slaves. They're like, pay them? What you mean I own those? I own their ass. Why the hell I got to pay them? See what I'm saying? So we gotta, what y'all have to do, y'all got to find this illegal slavery that you guys are putting only on black people. And so these are the concepts, these are things that you're gonna have to play, you're gonna have to fight against. And I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. So that's the problem. Shout out to DOT in the building. Misa L, only the wise is in the building. Malcolm Muhammad Moody, comment. Chuck Jackson, Aboriginal TV, Doval Brown. All right. Peace and love. Hey, we got Miss Gretchen Helm in the building. Peace, goddess. I say y'all put the link back in the chat room again, y'all. Chief Sabi, anybody want to come on? Let me know. Let's get it in, y'all. But we're gonna, like I said, we was warming up until the Sister Betty Love show, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that, y'all. Tracing Your Lineage, episode 4. She had to push it back a little bit because she had some extra stuff that she wanted to get ready for this for the presentation. So shout out to her, man. And now I kind of wanted to put this first part of white slaves, and y'all see it's in quotation marks, white slaves, Slav slaves, right? Black masters. What the fuck does this mean? What does white slaves, black masters mean, right? The young phenom is in the building. Peace of the guy, brother. What's up, bro?
Peace, peace. What up, Chief? Shout out to the
Chilling, chilling.
motherfucking American Aborigines. Chief Eaters in the building. It's scalpel season as always. What's goody, man? How you, bro?
Shit, man. I'm great, man. We got the scalpels out, man. That's the whole thing, man. The scalping season, man. We got the tomahawks out. We got the we got the scalpels out, man. We gotta precision cut this thing, man, because what we're dealing with is a strategic thing. You know what I'm saying? So why do you think, right, that black people in America associate themselves with, like, our whole existence, our foundation of our existence is slavery? Why do you think that is, bro?
Well, it's very simple. They are socially engineered to be that way. They are, or for lack of a better term, brainwashed. Um, they have been given a story, a reality, and they have internalized it for their own without doing any research, any soul searching, anything to validate the story that they've been told. So that, like I said yesterday on the bill, they believers, man. And if you believe something, then anybody can tell you any motherfucking thing, and you'll believe it. So I'm not really surprised that our people aren't really willing to accept that we are the American Aborigines, because they will believe in Jesus, they'll believe in the archaeologists, they'll believe in anything when their brothers and sisters tell them that they are this and don't identify them as that, they can't seem to believe that. So yeah.
I mean, okay, so let's just get to the first slave story, okay? Which would be what? What's the actual slave story that we're gonna talk about?
What would be the first one? Would it be the African
Well, no, no, no. I'm
that
talking
roots
about
came from?
like, no, like when I was doing research on slavery, right? I had to get to the first slave story, right? There has to be an origin to the story, right? So the story that I heard was Anthony Johnson. You remember the story of
Okay,
Anthony
okay.
Johnson?
Yeah, from the American Methodist Episcopal Church, that one from
No, no, no.
Angola.
Oh, well, absolutely. Well, they say he's from
Oh, you
Angola,
talking
but
about? Oh no, oh Anthony Johnson. You're right. I got it mixed up. He was the first African booty scratcher who was, if I'm not mistaken, he was free in the colony and was allowed to have slaves. That's the same Anthony Johnson.
hold on. So the concept, the story that they tell of Anthony Johnson, right? And we're gonna get back to him, whether or not he even existed, but that's another concept, right? But they tell the story of Anthony Johnson, right? Anthony Johnson was an indentured servant, according to them first, who came and worked off his indentured servitude and became a landowner. During the
Right. This
process
was
of
in
him
the
becoming a
colony of
landowner,
Virginia, right?
yes,
Colony of
colony of
Virginia.
Virginia.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
colony
I
of
just want to
Virginia.
make sure I'm the right one.
So now we're
All
talking
right.
1600s, late 1600s now. So we're not talking 1400s, 1500s, or whatever. So we're talking late 1600s, where they're saying that the indentured servitude was going on in the British colonies. Okay, which is facts. You had
Right.
indentured servitude, you had apprenticeship, you had employment, right? But what you didn't have is that you did not have slavery. You had people that, say, for instance, um, were prisoners or homeless people that they were just literally shipping over here, right? But they would literally tell a prisoner like, "Yo, you have to go to America and work off your prison sentence." Okay, whether it was
Right.
7 years, whether it be 14 years, but you had to go there and work off your prison sentence. So that's the whole concept when it comes to this whole indentured servitude thing, right? So literally, prisoners came to America from Europe in chains. What's happening, son? In chains. They came to America in chains. Okay. So last time I checked, if you're in chains, that means you're chattel. Okay. So let's don't go back and
Right.
forth on the chattel situation. And these people were abused, they were raped, they were murdered, right? Okay. You had prisoners of war. So prisoners of wars, right? Will be put right next to an indentured servant. If you're in chains, what does that matter? If you were fighting because, or you got put in chains because you were fighting, or you were a political rival of the people that's in charge. Whatever the case may be, you all were put in the same boat. So there's no, oh well, let's separate the white people from the black people. Nah, y'all all gonna be chained together. That has nothing to do. Slavery has nothing to do with color. It's more of a class thing. They're making it racial
True indeed.
in the present and the future. If we keep pushing it in the past like that, it's like that in the present and the future. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And 99.9% of the time, they'll show you some people or they'll talk to you about shit that's going on in the mid 1900s as if it was happening in the early 1800s. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They'll tell you a
True
story
indeed.
about shit that's going on in the 1900s like it happened in slave times. Okay, slavery is based around the biblical thing. 400 years of slaves, right? So niggas fall up under the biblical thing because guess what? When they were educating us, they're educating us and indoctrinating us into this biblical culture. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with when we're talking about people pushing a slave narrative. You got Black Power Rangers who are pushing a pale narrative on their people. So when we're talking about white Slavs, slaves, we know that the word slaves is a 13th century word. That means 1200s. Okay, that identifies European people. Okay, this is where this word is introduced into the world. Not saying that they didn't have servants or slaves in the BC times. Okay, they did. Like don't people were dominating or taking other people over. People were fighting. People was or were employing people. People were doing certain things. Or you know what I'm saying prior to the 1200s or the 13th century. You understand what I'm saying, Al?
Yeah, true indeed. True indeed. I think a lot of the people who are 5 dollar Africans, they just suffer from information overload. They don't know what historical context a lot of these things happen. They don't really understand the timeline, and they haven't really given a fuck enough to do any research to understand it. Like what I saw from the brother earlier who was on AP's panel, he didn't, like I said last night, he didn't say anything that anybody have not ever learned in civics and economics class or in social studies. So I think it's very funny that I hear a lot of those people say, "Well, no black people here speak the language of the natives," right? They say that all the time, but the same shit they say about us applies to them. None of you niggas speak a native African tongue. So I don't understand how you could even utilize that as an instance to look at the people who claim they're Aborigines as any different. If the so-called African Americans don't speak an African term or African tongue or language, then how the fuck do they know they're African? You know what I'm saying? It's really at the point, man. Like you just literally have made a decision that you African and you don't give a fuck what happens after that. Like it's just that simple. They don't care, bro. Like it's just like anybody who believes in Jesus. Like there's no way you can't tell them Jesus ain't real and he didn't rise on the third day. So I mean, hey,
I mean, yo, bro. At this point, like I said, man, the dude was asking questions. Like he kept asking the questions, and he would never answer the question. That's why I went on the platform because I really wanted to, kind of sit back and relax and watch. You know what I'm saying? But he would never answer the question. Why are you asking us? Do we speak any indigenous languages? And Aboriginal power told. See, once again, here's the problem. When you're speaking to smart dummies, you can't over talk them. I mean, over like we talk over their head. They're not ready for that. When you told him that we are speaking a derivative of our indigenous language right now, our tongues, he looked past that. So I had to, okay, well, what, brother, do you speak any African languages? No, I no. He said no, he don't. Y'all remember that? He said no, he don't. Then I asked him to let me know a tribe that you're from. There's no such thing as an African tribe. You should be able to say, okay, well, if you could trace yourself back to Africa, you should be able to trace yourself to a fucking tribe. They have
a
tribes in Africa,
people,
a people,
right? A
something
certain people,
like
right?
yeah, you can be like, yo, here are the people right here, whatever that you can trace yourself back to, right? So, but what he said it was that he don't know none of these things, and that he was married to a Somali woman. Did y'all hear that? And I asked him a
Oh
question.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes
I'm
sense
like, well,
now.
you must didn't give a goddamn to whether or not to to speak your wife's languages, right? Because you don't know it. He don't need
Right,
it. He
right,
said
right.
her children don't speak it either. But I'm like, bro, like, you asking us the same shit you can't speak for yourself. So these are the things that we talking about, Sammy. So these are the things that we're
All I
talking about. Well, bro.
all I saw was him doing a whole lot of motherfucking deflecting. Not addressing anything. And at the end of the day, I could tell from Jump Street, man, that bro really wasn't there to build with anybody. He was there to attempt to tell us the same shit that everybody else already done tried to tell us, like we don't already fucking know it, dog. Like I just can't imagine how people could think that we done built the whole community around motherfucking, with thousands of videos and hundreds of thousands of hours worth of information, and you think we didn't learn slavery? You think we didn't learn the out of Africa theory? You think we didn't learn none of that bullshit y'all talking about? So I mean, at this point, I'm starting to feel like it's a play on my intelligence. Either, like I said the other day, either you stupid as fuck or you think I'm stupid as fuck. And either way, I got to get the fuck from around you, man. Because actually, I got a little surprise for the family too. There may be a bill coming with the brother Ja Power. There may be. I don't know if he capping yet, but he did reach out to me and said he won't smoke. So we're gonna see if he
Yeah, I
gonna
never
cap
heard
or
of
not.
him. I never heard of him.
That dude, the dude who AP sent the video of.
Mm.
The
Oh yeah, I like
dude,
to
the
see that.
dude, the dude that he tagged everybody in. He said the dumbest scholar on YouTube. Yeah. So he actually made a couple videos last night talking about the Aboriginals that interrupted his date because he claims every time he's online, we ain't nowhere to be found. But then as soon as he doing something, we hop online. So I wanted to make sure that he had an opportunity to come get this work
I don't
with
even
no
know who he
cap.
is to whether know whether or not he's doing anything.
Well,
So
I
I
don't
think
know who he is
he's
either. I watched
he's full
about
of
two,
shit.
three videos of him, and he was just basically talking shit to us. So it may be a very comical build if it does go down, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, like I was telling everybody, man. Me and Miss Legit Part Two, aka Sister Renee, we putting together a debate for April, y'all. I don't know if she's gonna make it. I don't think she's gonna make it to April. I really don't, because if she's still gonna be pushing this old slave African narrative on us, I'm gonna debunk that before April. And if she comes to the debate pushing shit that I've already debunked, how that's gonna make? I don't even have to debate her after this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make her debate herself. I'm gonna make her to beat up herself. I don't even have to do it. Like, how like you she gonna be punching herself. Y'all gonna be watching. She gonna be like, here, you know what I'm saying? Hey, making yourself. This is like T West was doing. I asked him a simple question, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You just said out your mouth that black people was here first. So somebody said put in a chat room that said that he believed that we was wiped out. See, and he said some dumb shit about smallpox wiped us all out. I'm like,
Of course,
okay, well, how about this? Where are the mass graves of the smallpox bones? Where they at?
you ain't even
Like,
gotta
can
do
can you
that.
pull up one person out the
All
ground with
you gotta
smallpox?
do
One person.
is ask him, show me any
Shit.
other population around the world other than the European that wiped out the whole civilization with smallpox. It ain't never happened. Ain't no other body, no Africans, no millions and millions of Africans died from smallpox. No millions and millions of Asians died from smallpox. Only Americans, only the motherfuckers they claim just disappear. You know what I'm saying? It's
Facts.
always some extra shit with them. When motherfuckers just happen to disappear off their land and then they just came over here and take it. That's real ironic. And then they don't even see how the narrative fits. They teach the slave narrative and don't understand how it fits to the American Aborigines. It's just like I said, man, it's like banging your head against the wall, dog. Like I be just like I be thinking these niggas want to play. Like they really be playing with me. Like they can't be genuine. They can't be genuine and honest and righteous, bro. There's no way.
And then I asked him. He said his grandmother died at 105, right? His mama is 92. Shout out to his grandmama, shout out to his mama, right? But
And peace to them.
he gonna lie and say that his grandmama said they was African. I'm out of here. I had to go because like he ain't gonna tell the truth. He know his damn mama and his grandmama ain't never told him they no motherfucking Africans. Nobody grandma unless they grandma actually came from the Congo or some dumbass shit. Then that'd be different. Ain't nobody grandma told them they from no fucking Africa. Nobody. He's a
Well,
liar. I can't talk to
maybe
liars.
he is an African chief. I want
Maybe
him to
he
be
ain't
an
an
African.
African.
I don't I don't like the
Maybe he ain't
fact of
African.
how he tried to say he tried to make everybody an African. That's all.
Right.
That's my only problem with you niggas. Like if you going to be an African American, you want to do that, then do that. But when you try to say that, and when you try to speak for every melanated person, every black American, you don't even know how that's affecting people in the legal sense. You understand? You putting damnation on people. You putting conviction on a motherfucker, and you ignorantly don't even know you doing the shit. So somebody got to pull the gun out you niggas' hands before you kill everybody.
Facts. That's a damn fact. Like you can go blow your own goddamn brains out, but you ain't gonna be shooting us. You
Yeah,
can be
like
suicidal, but you cannot be homicidal. Like, and that's what they are. Like, Unc's homicidal. Man, every goddamn Pan African is homicidal. Sorry, because
yeah.
you guys are killing the spirit of your ancestors, of your bloodline. Okay, and then you niggas go out y'all face to just go through dumb shit, bro. Like we have bones. Where's your evidence? Like once again, Renee is gonna have to show me her slave papers, y'all. You're gonna have to pull them out, and she's not gonna do that.
It's gonna be amazing if one of the Pan Africans come out one day with some papers and they show how they come from somebody named Ubuntu who came off of slave ship. It's bound to happen. They fixing one up right now. You know that, right?
Hmm.
They got to
I,
be. They had enough time. They got to be doctoring up some type of slave document to
Unc said he's
prove,
98% African. He took a DNA test that cost $700,
man,
and he's
he the
98%
dumbest
African.
motherfucker on. Listen, how we can literally go to YouTube and watch a compilation of how DNA ain't real and it's just for entertainment purposes. Like it's a compilation full of the shit, man. Like
Hmm.
at this point, I don't even know what to say to nobody who's still talking DNA. I mean ancestral DNA. They're getting it fucked up. They think because you get a blood from a crime scene and you compare it to a blood in a nigga body, that's the same DNA as saying a nigga spit came from motherfucking Ethiopia. That's not the same thing. I don't understand what the fuck. Like, I don't get it. Like,
I mean, once
I,
again,
I,
you have
I
they
don't know,
gotta
Chief.
listen. They are never gonna be able to get around 60 minutes expose on exposing DNA. You're never gonna get around Hank Greenlee. You're never gonna get around AfricanAncestry.com, bro. Never. And they got the largest samples. Remember, he exposed them for having the largest samples of stuff, right? But then Hank, the people said, well, you still that's a still small amount. He said, yeah, but we got the largest. He said,
Well, I mean,
and
did they have Albert Perry shit?
I mean, they
Did
don't
they
even
have
have
that?
all the people on the continent. Shit, like it's millions of people on the continent, millions, right? Tens of
so
millions of people on the continent.
so in
You got
order to come up
a
with an
thousand?
actual
What the fuck?
listen, in order for you to come up with an actual algorithm for you to actually associate DNA with a landmass, you would first have to get a majority of the genetic sequences, and then compare them, put them in the categories, right? Separate them, and then basically see which genetic sequence is the most vast within that continent. And then maybe you could associate some portion or some particular people to a certain specific area, but that's only because the people there currently. It's not because their DNA got African in it, or you know what I'm saying. It's not because there's a sequence that actually is associated with a landmass that wasn't even named until the 1900s. That just doesn't make fucking sense. So I mean, I'm gonna
Yo,
just let
bro.
them
Like
keep
it's
driving the short bus.
yeah,
Let them keep
that's
driving the
true.
short bus.
That's true. But Renee came over, challenged us. What's happening? Like I didn't go over to her channel and challenge them over there. She came over here, so it ain't like we going to them and picking on them. The same like if we go back to the origin of all of this, we go back 4, 5, 6 years ago. They came fucking with me. I'm just keeping it
Yep.
real. Like I've never went over to them. They came fucking with me. So I was like, oh, okay, that's how you feel. Well, that's how I feel, and we could talk about it and let's see who's right. Like I got evidence. I still got to go back to that. You're never gonna get around the evidence that we possess. We have the bones in the ground. Y'all gonna have to. They're gonna have to count for this.
True indeed. True indeed.
You
I
got to, bro.
remember
Like what the fuck?
ever since we went on what's the dude name panel when we first met, Chief. I think it was what's the nigga name? Six Dynasty or something. What the fuck bill we did that Aboriginal bill about? I don't know how many years ago it was, Chief. Six
Nah,
Dynasty
it's been a
Media.
while. Yeah.
What? Remember when we did that first bill? That was a minute ago. I've been getting
Was
smoked.
that what root word?
We had Root. Yep, we had
Nah,
Root.
that's what
We
I'm
had
saying. So you was on that one too, then, right? Okay. So me, you, root word, and it was somebody else. I
and
can't remember
and
who
a
it was.
sister. It was a sister. It was
BCLC.
uh yeah, BCLC. Yep. Yep. That's how we met. Through her. Yeah, that's how we met. Through her. And that was goddamn, I don't even know how many years ago that was, she.
Interesting.
But I've been getting smoked ever since we did that build.
Hmm. Well, I already told y'all like I'm not even about to play with y'all, man. Ain't about to go back and forth with niggas like trying to nothing. We don't have to do none of this. We don't have to play any games with these people, bro. Like at the end of the day, what about these bones? And then when like here's another thing. Like I said, when we pull certain things out about, like say for instance, Naya, right? If the scientists are saying Naya is 12 to 13,000 years old, okay? This is what scientists are saying, right? If in your rabbit ass mind, if you believe that some pale people were on the planet 12,000 years ago, that means that you are going completely against the evidence that's 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 commonly held out here that pale people were not on the planet 10,000 years ago. Okay, that's 8,000 BC. 10,000 years ago, even in Europe, the people were black. That's Scandinavia, that's China, that's Japan, that's the Philippines. Every square inch of this planet, according to science, Negroes were there. Okay, that's science. At some point, something happened, and these other people were here. But even if they were here 6,000 or 5,000 years ago, they would have been even more of a minority. Are we like niggas act like that? You know what I'm saying? Like niggas was like abundant 1,000 years ago, or 2,000 years ago, or 3,000 years ago. Every 100 years you go back, it's less of these people. Are y'all catching this? Oh yeah, we not understanding that.
True indeed.
God damn, like I
True
just think
indeed.
it's the dumbest shit ever, man. That we got to keep having these conversations about dumb shit when there's too much evidence. If you pull up a Olmec head and you turn it around, and he said, "Well, these are braids." We know right now that the so-called mestizo or Mesoamerican or so-called Native Americans do not carry cornrows. They do not wear cornrows. Okay, even though they can look at back and see their ancestors on the murals with locks hanging down on their back, right? They cannot possess locks. We do. Me and this brother right here got locks. Same way our ancestors from this land have locks. The mummies in the ground got locks. The murals on the wall got locks. The goddamn sculptures, they went out their way. Like, y'all, come on, right? Who would have said, you know what? These locks are so important that we're gonna have to sculpt them in this hard ass basalt. Do y'all know how hard basalt is? So this is
They
the
don't
bullshit
know.
that we talking about, bro. They must don't know. Why would you go
They
through all this shit to do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why
you
would you
know
make
what
these
you know what
grades?
I
Why would
think
you do
about,
that?
Chief?
Shit.
I hear them use the term European all the time, right? I hear a lot of people use European, right? But it wasn't to the day when I really heard it for the first time in like a Huey P. nuisance sense. And that's what I'm gonna start calling the new $5 Africans. I'm gonna call them Europeans. Because when you slow it down, it breaks down to you're a peon. What the fuck is a peon, Chief? You're a peon.
That's a little nigga in my mind, a peon, like you little.
Let me give y'all the definition of a peon. Okay, we call them Europeans, right? Okay. Definition of a peon is a person with little authority, often assigned unskilled tasks, or an underling, or any person subjected to capricious or unreasonable oversight. So ain't it interesting that goddamn they call them Europeans? You breaking down European? Ain't that what the fuck they came as? Unskilled laborers, indentured servants. I just thought that was it. But yeah, I'm
I
gonna
mean, they
start
was
calling.
actually the peons. They were actually the original peons, bro. But
Right,
once
the name
again, they
says it in
traded
itself.
places with y'all goofy asses.
European.
European.
European. That's all. That's literally what it is. European,
European.
European,
Facts.
European, European. I mean, come on, bro. Like
Hey,
it's so
hey,
simple.
you seen them codexes with they little bitty asses getting smited. So like we the smiters. We wasn't getting smited. Let's be clear, right? We got tricked. We are not. Nobody smited us. Sorry, we are the warriors on the planet. Like nobody's beating us but us. We can only beat ourselves. Nobody. We've never lost a war to nobody ever. To each other. We only lost to each other. We too goddamn wild for niggas to believe that they came over here and just punked, raped everybody. Men too. Y'all just raped everybody. Really? Get the fuck out of here. You rape
They
weak
came off.
niggas. You ain't rape
Look,
us.
they
Okay?
came off the boat with motherfucking
That's,
muskets, dog. Come
man.
on, man. How many boats would it take for the Aborigines to be looking at the goddamn boats landing on the land? And you telling me these niggas didn't sound no alarm? They just waited on these motherfuckers to come through every hood and take the shit. Come on, man. This shit, man. This shit is retarded, man.
I mean, bro,
Shout
listen,
out
man.
to shout out to
Go
Big
ahead.
Bro Dame, man. That was a hot video he did breaking down Harriet Tubman. That gave shout out to Chief Holiday who been saying Harriet Tubman's fake for about goddamn I don't know how long.
Good 10 years.
I don't know how long.
Good
He
decade.
was
Like
saying
at least
he
a good
been saying this
decade.
shit fake as long as I fucking know him. Even when I ain't want to believe it. I was like, wait a minute, Chief, you sure everything fake? Man, shut the fuck up. Everything fake, dog. I'm like, damn, let me go look. I got to go look some more. I got to look some more. But
Hey,
every time I look, bro, that's all I keep seeing. Motherfuckers is faking on the bacon. They
hey,
faking on
hey,
the
hey, here's
bacon.
the thing. If there's something that one of us is saying that y'all don't agree with, you or believe, that's you have the ability to sit in the chat room and use your smartphone right now. Or if let's say for instance, you can't always find stuff on your smartphone right then, right? So if you go, you take notes and you say, Chief talking crazy right here. Harry Tugman, like, can y'all imagine this what Dane did? He like, oh well, shit. I don't know what the hell's Chief talking about. That sounds crazy as hell, right? But then you look into stuff or whatever, then you put your research out there. That's what we supposed to do. If I say something that you do not agree with, you do your research to debunk me. That's what you should do. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, what's gonna happen? You might find something I didn't find.
True indeed. True indeed.
But you're gonna still come to the same conclusion. Now, here's another one that I've been putting out there for years: that George Washington, Thomas Jefferson were black people, right? Were brown men, and so y'all be like, oh, no, Chief, you don't know what you're talking about because you want to believe the white man built everything. You want to believe that they invented language, that they invented boats, that they did all the shit that our ancestors been doing for thousands of years.
True
So
indeed.
stop telling us, like, niggas are so dumb. They up here arguing whether or not the Egyptians and the West Africans are the same people. Wasn't they selling and trading with each other?
Right. Like I missed that whole little
Dumb.
part of the segment of the show. I was like, what do we happen? We talking about Gaddafi. We talking about some shit. Like none of you niggas got no African cards. None of you niggas ain't over there right now, and none of you niggas ain't about to get none of us to believe that we Africans. So I was just like, this is facetious. But I know the brother, he felt like he was in his lane when that subject matter was brought up. So that's when you heard him bringing in all this content and talking about a lot of things. When you asked him about his ancestors, when you asked about him how did he become an African, he don't got nothing to say other than, well, we already know. You could go on Google and search it for you. Like, nah, nigga, you supposed to be a teacher. You supposed to be able to throw out a source just off the dick, just off the top of your head, just because you done did so much research. You know what I'm
Bullshit.
saying? Like, ask any of
That
our
man.
scholars right now for a source. Nigga, throw one out off the jump like an alley hoop. Boop. There go one. Go check
Nah,
that
but
out.
they'll tell you some dumb shit. Well, that's a white man source. I'm like, wait, well, I only will give you a white source because you won't take a black source. Y'all
Damn
discredit
right.
that Dr. David Imhotep, who has guess what? Guess what Dr. David Imhotep have that Unc don't got, or Garfield, or any of them. He has the first. I'm gonna say this again, y'all. Maybe they not literally listening to this. He has the first PhD in ancient African studies. I'm done here. That means that he is the first PhD. That means he has the first goddamn. He started a curriculum called Ancient African Studies, and he has came to the conclusion that America is grandma. From him going down to Guatemala, for him going down and saying, you know what, I'm not about to be a dickhead and go against what evidence is saying. Remember, he said, did you have to have this thing called evidence, not your emotions? We have a bunch of emotional people. Khalil was in the chat room talking about why y'all obsessed with niggas that want to be Africans. Bro, we just pointing out that nobody's African. It is a social created word for slaves, for losers, bro. Like that's all we saying. So I'm trying to figure the shit out. Night Wolf in the building. Night Wolf, what it do?
Yeah, man. I feel the same way, bro. Like
Shit crazy.
at this point, and like I
Yeah,
said, at this point, I just peace, Night Wolf. At this point, bro, I'm just like, goddamn, fuck them, bro. Fuck them. Like, what else you gonna do? Like, I'm gonna open up the door, let people come in if they want to learn. I'm gonna do. All we can do is our due diligence. Plant the seed. If they don't want to listen, then they gonna have to suffer the consequences, bro. That's all. Fuck them. Like, we ain't gonna be able to save everybody, bro. Like, you can't tell me out of all this goddamn information, you can't even conceive in your head that this is a possibility. Fuck
Yeah, I
if
don't
it's
know.
true. You just can't even conceive it's a possibility. But you can
It,
conceive you African. That shit crazy as hell to me.
right. Well, and not only that though, here's the thing, right? The out of Africa is not a law. It's not a fact. It's a hypothesis. Like I don't know if they understand that. I'm gonna have you in the deep water, baptizing your ass. Like you gonna go in the deep water. Like it's nothing you can't. They're never gonna be able to get around these questions. Don't ask me a dumbass question that you can't answer back. So T West, when you answer that question, why are we not speaking our language? And that's it. And then you can turn around and say that the little boys or your wife's children who are Somalian, they don't speak Somali or whatever the language would be. Correct? And you definitely don't speak none. So that would answer your goddamn question right there.
In your
And they
own
like one
reality.
generation, they one generation removed. And according to you, African ass slave niggas, you niggas is hundreds of years removed from Africa, and you still Africans?
And how the fuck do this nigga
Dumb.
know that the language that these natives speaking is even ancient or old? Nigga could have
That part.
created this shit. Fucking come on, man. Come on, y'all. We ain't this fucking slow. Like at
Yes,
this
we
point,
are.
I'm like, Chief,
We are.
y'all are fucking slow. Like
was
I can't
Africa
use no
was,
other word but
was
fucking
Africa always
slow.
called Africa?
What you say,
Of
Nightwolf?
course not.
Was Africa always called Africa?
Uh, it wasn't called Africa 100 years ago, bro.
So
We're done.
where do they get the concepts from? Like, is it just history books?
Yeah, literally,
Yeah, literally.
literally.
Yeah.
I asked my pops this last night when I watched the Dane Calloway video. I said, "When was the first time you ever heard about slavery?" He was like, "In school." First,
You know
he
what?
told me the
Hey,
first book he ever
my
read was a slave ship.
my dad told me the same shit.
Oh
You know
God,
what?
he's
My
67
dad
years
told
old.
me
He said the first book he ever saw was a slave ship.
my
That
dad
was the name of the book.
my dad
Damn.
told me he didn't know what slavery was until he was born in the '60s. So he didn't know what slavery was until Roots came out in the '70s. He was in high school. He said when
That's what
Roots
my
came
mom
out,
told me too.
that was like the first time they heard of that shit.
What's up?
And he stole that from a cracker, goddamn, who wrote a screenplay
Who the dude that made
or
Roots?
a book. Yeah, Alice Haley stole that from a cracker.
Oh, that's some gang
Yeah, the
shit.
book.
Who the fuck?
Hey,
But
bro.
who
Hey,
believes
bro.
that?
You can look it up right now, bro. You, hey, Night Wolf.
How they
You can
believe
look
that
it up
shit,
right
DJ?
now. Hey, Night Wolf. You can look it up right
Yeah.
now, right? It will tell you that Alice Haley got sued in 70 whatever, right? 1970 whatever, right? The
Uh,
judge told him. The judge said that it was the worst case of plagiary he had ever seen in his life, and he awarded the authors of the African the largest settlement in that time in American history for plagiarism. And you know what
I think
happened
it
after
was
that?
about $650,000 or something like that.
Something crazy. Do y'all know what happened after that? That
damn, I guess
Dr. Leonard Jeffries and the rest of the
Chief, your mic
architects
went
of the
real low.
Pan African, the Dr. Leonard Jeffries got $500,000 from the Carnegie Institute to give to Alex Haley to produce Roots. You hear me? They still produced
Yeah.
a plagiarized story, and they still made the movie and gave it to our people.
Hey,
Yeah,
Of
Chief,
he
course.
got sued before the movie
what the
was
hell?
made and lost the lawsuit. Lost. Come on, y'all. And so if Dr. Leonard Jeffries, who was working for the Ford and the Carnegie, right, and all these different families who have been working, the Rockefellers who have been literally working against our people, he got $500,000 to produce Roots, y'all. $500,000.
It ain't no different than nowadays, Chief, when you see these motherfuckers like Umar and everybody else still talking this African shit. They getting a
Facts.
check, man. I don't care what nobody say. They getting something.
Now, I
They're
believe
able
that
to
our people
move
are so
better.
Africanized out that a nigga like Umar Johnson could
Really
all
believe
like
he
some of our
actually
people,
doing
all they
something.
gotta do is have a white university attached to them, right? And say you're a doctor, and all you gotta do is talk bliggity black. I'm black and I'm proud, and then tell motherfuckers that Frederick Douglass is your ancestor, right?
Right. Sa-
You
right.
ain't, you don't have to do nothing
I
else.
mean, I ain't gonna lie. I heard Umar before. Nigga had me tingling a little bit at one point in time till I seen that phone episode. Then I realized, frauds always expose themselves. If you just watch somebody long enough, y'all, they'll always tell you who they are.
Facts.
Always. All you gotta do is just
That's a
watch
fact.
and observe, and a motherfucker gonna reveal themselves to you, man. And I really wanted to fuck with Umar. I thought he was doing something good. And this is before I even knew how detrimental it was for him to be actually out here doing what he doing. Like he should be locked up. We need to got them hog tie this nigga or something, man, because he going to state by state, snatching up little boys, and he about to teach them they African. Come on, man.
Facts.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. And he got the people financing them. I seen them live the other day. Y'all send the donations in, y'all. Send the donations in. I got my fellas with me today. See, my fellas sending all the donations. What's up, ladies? Ladies, y'all ain't gonna send no donation. I was like, damn. Well, damn. It's just like that, huh?
Hey, so I kind of had this theory of where this all came from, which I'm sure somebody on this chat said it before, on the panel that said it before, but I think we want to be losers so bad because we're hoping something comes to us out of karma. Does that make sense?
True indeed.
We
Thinking
we we
if we just
we
do
believe
good
the
enough for
Bible so
long
much. It's
enough,
like
right,
you're gonna get it in the end. You're gonna get it in the end. So it's like we just
right,
stay down long enough. Maybe we'll have this huge come up. That's why everybody African is from Egypt. That's why everybody say we was kings and queens. Some of you niggas were servants.
right. Some of you
Somebody was
niggas was
servant somewhere.
peons,
Somebody somewhere was a peon.
had no fucking skills. Like everybody, everybody a king and a queen, huh?
Every
Everybody
single
got that
person in
royal
our culture,
bloodline, huh?
we was
Nah,
kings and queens.
some of you niggas is,
You
is
can't
really
even
slaves.
fucking read. You can't
Some of you
read
niggas really
now,
got
nigga.
slaves in y'all bloodline. Some of you niggas
Real
might be
talk.
kin to Kunta.
Real talk.
I
Y'all
think
got some
Umar is really
Toby in
kin to
you.
Kunta. Hell yeah, Toby.
Toby up in you. Toby Johnson.
Nah, don't say Johnson. Nah, it's
Oh.
Shoemaker, nigga. Don't get no, don't do that.
Shoemaker.
I would have changed my name too, God. Straight up.
Hold on, who name is
Hell
Shoemaker?
yeah.
Shoemaker.
Shoemaker.
Who was
Nah.
that? Who's Shoemaker?
There's
Oh
some
wow.
shoemakers out.
Nah,
Oh,
that's
I didn't know
homeboy.
that.
That's homeboy's name. That's his real name, Shoemaker.
Who?
Oh, you didn't know? Okay.
Oh
Who?
Umar.
man.
Umar.
His name is
Umar
not
Johnson?
his name is
Man, his
not
name's Shoe.
Ifatunde.
Hold on, what's his real name? What's his first name?
Jermaine.
Jermaine Shoemaker?
My bad. My bad, y'all. Oops.
Damn. You mean little Jermaine? Goddamn, we used to see sucking his thumb down the street all the time. That little
That
Jermaine. You
nigga.
mean
That nigga.
big head Jermaine?
That nigga.
Damn. I remember big head Jermaine. He a doctor now?
My bad, y'all.
That's
He the
hilarious.
prince of the Pan Africans now? Damn.
So here's another thing, right? Like, listen, you can't be a black Power Ranger and then tell us that you worship the white Power Ranger. You understand my point? Like, you can't tell me that you're gonna open up a school for black boys, right?
I mean, the
Why
black Power
you?
Ranger listened to everything Zordon said. He was just a white cloud. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I grew up on that shit, man. I'm only 29, so I
Nah,
we
I
used to
got you.
worship that old
That's your time right there. Yeah, you was a little boy.
dude.
You thought you had a Power Ranger suit on. Trust me.
Man, I had Power
But
Ranger everything.
Hey, I remember that. Yeah, we watched the Power Rangers, nigga. Hell yeah. Yes, sir.
I wanted to be Power Ranger. All that goofy shit.
I
right,
bet
but
Umar gonna come out with his own Power Rangers and they gonna have on dashiki print goddamn suits.
Green,
man,
black, and
ain't
red.
no
Or
listen,
is it
man.
black,
That
yellow, and
shit going
green, or
down,
whatever that
bro.
color is?
The
All that
Marcus
shit going
Garvey
down,
Power
man.
Rangers.
African Pan African sales are down, buddy. Trust me.
Oh yeah, somebody
Down.
put in the chat earlier that 23andMe posted that their sales are down dramatically.
They had to fire some motherfuckers, right?
Ancestry DNA is down dramatically. I wonder
That
why.
nigga Garfield about to get fired, nigga.
I wonder why.
Hey,
They
I
say
got a question
don't
for y'all.
nobody listen to the elbows. Go ahead,
Hey, I
bro.
got a question. I got a question for y'all. So, I remember somebody saying that if all these slaves were so-called captured back then, was there any wars that was happening then?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And
No,
we can
I mean, no.
and
I
we can
mean
go down
between
the
the Africans.
timeline with
I
the
mean between
actual
these. I mean between these
whatever.
so-called Africans and Europeans. These Europeans were so-called stealing these Africans, right? So were they
Nah.
warring at
Oh
the time?
well. This is what they say, right? They say we know that Africans sold other Africans in so-called slavery, right? So if you know that,
Right.
you ain't even gotta add the Europeans stealing nobody. Bruh selling his peoples already.
Oh, okay.
So you see what I'm saying? You ain't even got the European ain't even got to conquer nothing. He ain't got to take nothing. He just got to pull up. Bro, he got his niggas boxed up with a bow on the bitch. You know what I'm saying? And then all the European gotta get a nigga is a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? A goddamn bean pie, you know, a little bean pie and some Islam, little Jesus,
That's it.
you know. That's it.
And they
Nigga
gonna
give you a
forget
whole ship
everything.
of niggas for Jesus, man. He ain't playing.
Facts. That's a fact. So
But for
so
real
here's the
though,
thing, right? We gotta let them know though, man. Like, listen, y'all. Like, listen. There's no such thing as a white person. There's no such thing as a black person. These are social political constructed words, right? So shout out to Sister Nikki Justice, right? We go back. I tease her because I say she's beige, because she's an ultimate. Like, she pushes black power, right? And I know that she's a warrior, y'all. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, just
true,
her
true
her
indeed.
her background, right? Of, her life, she's been fighting these people. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say, yo, you're not black, you're beige, I'm just talking about her actual physical look, like how you physically look. You look beige, right? So when you're
Little
saying you're
khaki
black,
color.
you're pushing, right. You're khaki. You're pushing
She moon
when you're
cheese
pushing
yellow.
black. You're pushing a political concept, right? My only question to them
That
is, did we create that political construct, or did they create it for us? And if you're saying that they created the black paradigm for us, that means that you're controlled opposition. I try to keep it super fucking simple, and I think it's so fucking simple that I don't think that they really get in the concept. It has to be some elaborate fucking story. No, right here, black is associated with loser. Okay, and if you put yourself on the black team, you're going to be losing forever. Do you get this?
Doesn't it mean
well,
like dead as well or
Fuck.
something like that?
I know
Like
that every Pan African, pretty much, I know, don't study the law. So these same people be like, "Well, you being Aboriginal ain't stopping the police from doing nothing to you." Well, bitch, how you know? Because you don't study the law enough to motherfucking know, goddamn, if it work or not.
that's a
You see
fact.
what I'm saying? They just assume that goddamn we ain't in a different status just because they see other individuals still being oppressed. How many of those people who are being oppressed actually are identifying as the first Americans? Anyone? You
Do
see
they
what
do
I'm
they
saying?
really do they really see him being oppressed, or do we see that shit on Facebook and shit all the time?
I mean, a lot of the shit is
Man, it's our
fucking
mind
propaganda,
frame.
dog.
It's like a
Yeah,
mind
Right?
frame. You
it's
might
our
see
mind
like
frame.
one or two of them, but you think it's
Bruh,
thousands of them.
we seen so many movies, dog, of niggas getting killed. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so easy to set up a little scene of a nigga getting killed on Facebook Live. Like,
crisis
dog,
act.
it ain't crisis actors, right? It's used and it's utilized to invoke an emotional response out of a certain people. You know what I'm saying? If we get these niggas all riled up, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to channel that energy to further oppress them. But they actually think, goddamn, they feelings are genuine. But they're actually just conditioned, and they're actually living our reality we want them to live instead of their own natural reality. It's simple. It's social engineering 101. If you ever want to know what's wrong with our people, study social science, study psychology and sociology. They made a whole field of science around you niggas, telling how they studying you, and
Let me
telling how they dividing you,
let me ask
telling
y'all a
you how they
question.
creating the social constructs. Go ahead, bro.
Do we have yellow bones and red bones in our families?
Red bones?
Red bones, right? And yellow
Yeah,
bones,
my mama. My mama's red,
right?
red bone. My daughter's a yellow bone. Yeah,
Right. Okay. So these are the concepts that come from us, right? So when we
right.
talk about brown, for instance, right? And they be like, when we say brown power, right? Like, if I said brown power to Sister Renee or Sister Nikki Justice, right? They'll say, well, that's for the Mexicans. Brown
Right.
power, right?
Latino,
Okay.
Latinos.
So follow me, right? So is Yvette Carnell, would she be considered yellow bone?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right?
Khaki,
And a lot of
easily
Mexicans are
khaki.
darker than, right? A lot of Mexicans are darker than her, so they would be considered red bones, right?
Right.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So once again, we're talking terminology, right? So we wouldn't look at a yellow bone, right, and say, "Hey, you're brown," correct? We wouldn't say that to them. We wouldn't look at her and say, "Okay, you black or brown," because we can clearly see that you're yellow bone. Okay. So when we talk about the concepts of being brown, why should brown power be designated to yellow people? right?
Right.
You're not
Ain't
telling the
nobody running.
Asians that they are part of the brown power. We the
No,
brown
and you
man.
ain't running up on the light skinned niggas talking about they African either. You're
No, you're
not running
not.
up on
That's
them
facts.
talking. You're not
You're
running up
not.
on them talking about
The shit
respect
is
your African
done, yeah.
heritage, brother. Come on, man. You're only running up to us,
We are
and
brown.
that's
The actual color of our skin is brown. We're brown people. And we come in different variations of shades of that brown to yellow, right? To brown. So why
this is
would
one thing I
why would we
noticed, G.
designate somebody else as be the brown or the red man? Red is
This
rud. Red comes from rot. Red ruddy. Ruddy is brown. Root skin, brown. The original brown root man, ruddy. Red comes from ruddy. Red is German. Red comes from brown. Okay, so when you see Indian ruddy is brown for a reason. This is where this comes from. So red comes from brown. I'm not about to go back and forth with y'all. Stop
Chief.
telling us
This is
dumb shit
one
like,
thing I
oh, they're the
noticed.
red man, you niggas is black man. Get the fuck out of here.
Right. This is what I
Mhm.
notice about Pan Africans or anybody who really we dialogue with, right? They never will acknowledge the fact that we are a different people. Like phenotypically, we different. They see we get caught up with letting everybody associate us with the dark skin tone instead of actually noticing like, yo, there's dark people everywhere. Just because you dark don't mean you us. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you hold whatever melanin don't mean you're an American Aborigine. And that's why I keep telling people it's important to figure out what attributes we're going to utilize to distinguish ourselves because there's other phenotypical people or other similar people who have similar attributes who are not us and they fucking still acting like us, they still
Right.
speaking for us. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's necessary. It's not like we trying to step away from everybody and be special or anything, but it's important for us to distinguish our characteristics, what makes us us. So then we'll be able to identify our motherfucking people, and our people will be able to identify people, and we won't it won't be as easy to misidentify and misinform us. You understand? When you
Right.
know you're looking at an aborigine, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no question. You ain't even got to question nothing. But if they're black to you, you don't know what is on their mind. You don't know what type of nigga they is. You don't know nothing about them, and they don't know nothing about themselves. You see what I'm saying? So we
Right.
really gotta get serious about distinguishing ourselves from these other people, man. And I mean, we do got different colors, we got different looking type of people, but at the end of the day, when you interact with your people, you know who your people is, right? Like if
Right.
we got in a room, right, and we just start bringing random niggas in, right, all of them dark, all of them with the same goddamn phenotype, I still guarantee we'll know who the fuck our people ain't and who ain't really built like us.
Me personally, I um I always look at my I look at the features that people talked about me for as a kid. So like I got a big nose, I got big lips, I got big ears. My eyes is different. And it just just little stuff that people would make fun of me for. But then when I see people like that, I'm like, shit, you kind of look like me. If I can distinguish one thing, I know that I don't look like an African. I look at them, I say their hair ain't the same, their nose ain't the same, their body type ain't the same. None of that shit is the same. So for us to be putting ourselves with them to say, oh no, we look like them, we this, that. Man, you know what you look like. You know that don't look like you and they don't look like us. So I feel like it's easy to distinguish the two, or at least the two. As far as the rest of us, I don't know about the island people. I don't know about the rest of that. I don't really look and check too much into it. I probably should start, but man, I think that shit is easy.
Yeah, I never felt any different about people from the islands than people from America. 'Cause I always felt like they was our people. I mean, you take like I'm from South Carolina, like we Geechees. Like a lot of niggas might think we from the islands if you take them niggas and put them in Wisconsin. You see what I'm
Oh no,
saying? So
I'm not saying they
right,
different. Not like different. I'm just saying like they look enough to where it's like, okay, all right, I fuck with you. I deal with you. All right, I fuck with
Right. The question really is, if they didn't have an accent, would people consider them different people? If they didn't have a different dialect, like if they spoke just like regular niggas from the Americas, would anybody consider them different from us? Nope.
you. No,
Nope. So the
but
only thing that they distinguishing Caribbean people with is the fact that they have an accent.
I mean, I had a Southern upbringing. Like I'm from Southern Illinois, Alton, Illinois, one of the mound cities. But like we had a Southern upbringing, so the talk was a little different. Like when I heard like my grandparents and shit talk, you would think that's an accent. It's some words we just can't
Right. Where
really
was they
say.
from? They was from the South?
Yeah, my grandmother, they from Mississippi, some from Louisiana, some
Yeah.
from North Carolina, and it's another, I think Alabama, something like that.
See, one thing I'm noticing, like I forgot who said it. I think it was AP or A1, but they said, yo, if you got ancestors that's from the South, you Aborigine, bro. And every nigga I keep talking to, no matter where they at, they got family in the South, some motherfucking way. If they don't have family in the South, they got family
Facts.
in the Caribbean.
You're right.
You know what
You're
I'm
right.
saying? So it ain't like I don't know how ironic that could be. Like, what's the probability of that? Every 40 million niggas all got family from the South.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like to have you think it's because they brought niggas on boats, but we know that ain't true. Come on, man. We got to get over this. We got to get this.
I mean, shit get
I,
weird though at this point. Like seriously,
it
like
is,
you know
see?
what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, and I feel like I don't think that they understand our frustration with them. Right? We present evidence. You have none, and you're still talking dumb. Y'all Aborigines. Ain't you Aboriginal to America? Well, no, I'm not. I'm an American. Aren't you the original man? Yes, I am, but I'm from Africa first. See what I'm saying? Like, and they had these concepts, and you're going with a theory that's the theory of evolution. It's attached to eugenics. It's attached to losers. Okay? Like I don't know what more. So I'm gonna call you a loser the whole time. I'm telling you. If you're telling me you're bliggity black, you're an African American, you're a loser. You're a fucking slave loser. I'm telling you. And I'm gonna keep putting you in that category until you can prove that you are African, that you're a slave. You can't prove that you're black because I can look at you and say, okay, you're not black. And if you're saying
Right.
that you're attaching yourself to that social political construct, I'm going to ask you who founded that for you. What African came here and said that you're a goddamn African? Who? Where? What's his name?
It's one thing.
It's not nobody coming from the continent come over here telling y'all some fucking Africans.
It's
Nope.
one thing I know about Africans.
What the fuck?
It's one thing I know that when I meet Africans, I've never heard. I'm in Missouri right now, and it's a bunch of Africans. It's not one African that has ever said they were African
No.
that I know of. They always say they're from such and such. Like it's
Everyone I talk to they'll say the country, and then if you really know people, you ask them what people you come from, because they got their own tribes. Like the people I met from Kenya, they said they come from people called the Kumba people. That's a specific people who got a specific customs traditions that you can trace back to whatever their history is. You understand what I'm saying? But they not
I
no
didn't know that.
$5 ass niggas who just assuming the goddamn position. Because I mean, for real, yo, like that's all these people are is $5 Africans.
Ain't that a bit?
I mean, they ain't
y'all
even
see-
$5 Africans, nigga.
So
Garbage.
is Ludacris
But that's
a
what they
$5
doing
African
though.
now? Did y'all see that?
Say that again.
Ludacris, the rapper, he's supposed to have some
Citizenship in his
citizenship.
wife's country, right? Yeah, he's supposed to have some citizenship in his wife's country or whatever. What the fuck that mean? He already a citizen of America, so he's still a slave.
So he's a $5 African then, right?
Literally.
That's all I mean.
Literally.
Well, he's just another colonizer
leading the
over
way.
there. He's just another colonizer. He's going over there helping them colonize their
that's
shit
all.
over there with a black fucking.
That's it. He's just going to go colonize some more
That's
niggas.
it. That's
So
it.
we
Hey,
look,
bro.
so we look right past these $5 Indians to go be $5 African? Are you
Yep.
kidding me?
It's
Are
easier,
you
bro. It's
serious?
easier to not have to say something to the fake ass Indians who stealing your shit. It's easier to go act like some motherfuckers who goddamn don't give a fuck about you.
Man, my,
Apparently,
my wife daddy is one of
Mm, mm.
them. Shit, I
he
always
a
try to
five
look
dollar
into that.
African.
And he a $5 Indian.
Oh, okay.
He don't look white.
Well,
He look mongoloid. He look like one of them Mongols. Like
but
so,
see,
I don't know if maybe they weren't the $5. I don't know. I'm like, well,
we can't go off of looks, man, because we just
Yeah,
don't
yeah, you
know
can't do
what specific lineage it come from. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so mixed up. Like just say for example, we got five brothers from the same mama and daddy. They could look all different,
oh,
even
that's a
if they
fact.
look similar, right? Once they start having children and start busting down the lineage, bro, them niggas gonna start to look a little different. You know what I'm saying? But that
Okay.
don't mean they don't come from the same lineage, the same woman. I got people in my family right now who's black as goddamn night, and we come from the same woman. My grandmother is dark as shit, and she had a daughter that's light as shit. We
Hey,
can't
Ab
use that
TV.
colorism. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Go ahead, bro.
hey, hey, Ab TV. You said black? They
What?
black?
Black what?
Like blue
They
black, my
dark,
nigga?
like
Like
Blue
like
black.
like blue
dark,
black.
dark, like dark with locks, nigga. Like dark, dark, dark with
But
long ass locks.
but if they had a black shirt on, would they be like kind of matching that shit?
Nah, it'll be like
Is it?
indigo black,
Oh, damn.
like
Hey, hold
dark,
up,
bruh.
player. Hold up. Hey, you said they got locks, right?
Yeah.
How long they been growing them?
Uh,
I think I know where
couple
he
of my
going with
cousins, about 7 years. Oldest one,
How,
one who got the longest locks has been about 7 years, I think.
where is this hair at now?
It's
I
past.
know
After,
It's
exactly where he
probably
going
like
with this.
midway down his back, a little bit longer.
okay, he an Indian then.
What?
Hey,
I was about to say that nigga blue black. He might be an African.
hey,
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 hey, Indian hair, my hair down my nose, man. I'm just
7
saying.
years and he got an afro in 7 years. A baby fro.
Yeah, hey yo,
nigga got
them niggas.
nigga
It
got
take them
taco meat on the top of his head in 7 years.
like
God
10
damn.
years, bro, to grow they shit long
I
as
heard.
shit like that.
Is it
How
true
long
that
you been growing your
Negroes
hair?
be look like
This
that?
nigga got a Caesar. He got a Caesar at 7 years.
No, cause Indians here. Hey yo, listen. If you got that true Indian hair, boy, your shit. I got that
Your
Cherokee
shit
cotton, my
float.
nigga. I got that Cherokee cotton, man. My shit grow fast as fuck. I had braids. I had like two braids in my hair. Like I used to get my shit braided a lot and all that shit. And my shit curly and shit. You know what I mean? All that. But my shit real soft, bro. So I gotta put rubber bands on my shit. You know what I'm
Right, it
saying?
won't lock. That's how
Yeah,
my shit was. It
bro.
won't
My
lock.
shit's locked right
See,
now.
you
I've been
got you
growing them
got
for
you
look.
might have a bunch of them people in you, bro.
Nah, chill. So you trying to say our people have the
Hey,
bullshit,
I'm
my
just
nigga?
joking.
Like
I'm just,
this
you
nigga,
know, you
hey,
are
I got
Cherokee.
that.
You know, you
Hey,
Cherokee
Chief,
now. I'm just saying.
you tripping. You tripping. My shit wavy as shit. Hey, when
He
I had
said,
my
You
shit,
one of them type.
when
I
I
got
had
that
my,
good hair.
hey,
I
listen
got that
though.
good hair.
When
for
I had my
sure.
shit in the Caesar, bro, I ain't need no wave cap to wave my shit up. Soon as that barber
For
hit my shit
sure.
with the clippers, it was
You ain't
on.
got no you ain't got no Jackie
You got
Chan
you got
Jet
that
Li
good
in you,
hair,
do
huh?
you?
You got that good
Dude,
hair,
that
huh?
Jesse Lee
You
Hey,
got
hair.
that Jackie
Hey,
Chan in
bro,
you.
I'm watching you.
one day when I was younger and I had my hair cut lower, right? I just got it cut fresh as fuck, right? And then my oldest aunt, my aunt Shuggy, yo, she's named after Florence Hall, my great grandmother or whatever, Flo. That's what they called her.
Mm-hmm.
She saw me, she was like, "Is that your real hair?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Hey man, I'm telling you, I got that royal grade, my nigga. Like,
You might have that love me long time up in your boy.
nah,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead with
You
that.
might have that Scandinavian
Nah,
shit in
nah, nah, nah. If anything, them niggas come from me, but I ain't got none of that up in my blood. Y'all tripping. I
We
was about to
fucking
say
with you,
you got
man. You
African
already know.
in your shit, cause them niggas is blue black, cause them niggas be black as hell. American Indians, we dark, but we like you can see that reddish like glow. We got like a
Oh yeah,
glow
you can
to
see
us.
the red. Yeah, you can still see the red around their nose, around the
Yeah,
facial features. Like you can still see the red. They just dark. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They
we
just
got
dark.
different eyes and everything. Like
But
we got different
but
types.
like I told you, when you have 21 children, bro, they bound to look different. I
Oh
was
yeah, they gonna
Everybody
look
gonna look the
different.
same. That's crazy. That'd be
like
crazy. You can
they
have three and
bound to
they won't
look
look the
different,
same.
bro.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Y'all gotta
It's crazy.
remember, yeah, we the original people. We the original people after the Great Deluge, though. Like y'all gotta remember that.
Hey, indigenous Sabi, um, the link's in the chat room, bro. So you can just hit the link. If you can't hit that, then we'll work it out. I'll email you something. Yeah, man. Shout out to Crush the Legend in the building.
Hey, Chief, did you get my email?
You sent it today?
I sent it like 2 days ago.
That nigga Ghost said got that Bruce Leroy glow. God damn.
Yeah, no, I don't think I did,
Hey,
bro.
I seen a
Damn.
nigga Wallow 267 go see Bruce Leroy. He don't look like the same Bruce Leroy. Am I tripping? He don't look as he don't look as melanated that he did in the goddamn movie. I'm gonna say that.
He
He
got
don't
body
look
snatch, bro.
he don't look he
They
don't
put
look
that
like
worm
Bruce
in the guy,
Leroy.
bro.
I'm telling you, boy.
He like one
I
of them niggas. He like one of them Haitian victims. He a walking zombie, bro. He got a host.
I'm telling you, bro, that
It
nigga do
ain't
not
him.
look like Bruce Leroy.
It ain't him. Like Gucci and shit. Gucci look like one of them niggas in the hood that talk shit in front of the damn corner store every time you come down that bitch. Waterway and shit look like he drink 40s every day. This nigga go to jail, come out, and be on a damn magazine with a flower in his hair and shit, looking like Diana Ross or some shit. That ain't him.
I'm telling
Then fucking what's his name? Kodak. That nigga get out of jail. Ain't none of his motherfucking Zoes there to fucking meet up with him. It's all white people. That ain't him.
What you think happening to him?
They getting body snatched, bro. Look,
Are they?
remember,
Oh,
y'all
you think
remember
they
that
getting
saying?
replaced?
Y'all remember that saying? We wrestle not with the flesh.
What
Y'all
you
remember
think?
that saying?
Are they getting like replaced or something? What you mean?
Damn, bro. I don't even know, man. I don't even know if I could talk about this, man. You
Oh, I
know
mean
what I mean?
that's
I
cool.
don't want to.
Some
I don't want
Illuminati
to like
shit. I
no.
got you.
Hey, no, but man, what y'all think going on, bro? All these missing people and shit. They
They
snatching
going.
organs and all that, bro.
They probably going to Africa.
Y'all know our DNA is $300 something dollars a gram on a stock market, don't y'all? Y'all, your dead body worth M's, boy. That's why they want to keep you ignorant.
But I mean, we drink.
Worth some
Well, some of
change.
us, bro. Some of us like drink and smoke all day. How much is my lungs gonna be worth
Well,
for real?
that might
if you
listen,
smoke, they
bro.
ain't getting That's why you
The
still on
melanin
YouTube talking to me right now.
the, the
Keep on
melanin in
smoking,
your
my nigga.
skin, bro, is
Huh?
worth enough to kill you, dog. The melanin in your skin alone is worth enough to kill you.
Yeah, they'll
Is
get
that is,
something
Without
else
your
if they
heart,
really
hey,
want
is,
to.
without your lung,
is
without
they for real
anything else.
selling that? I hear they selling like melanin or something. I
Yeah,
heard
type it in
something
Google
like
right now.
that.
You can get it in powder form. You can get injections. You can get it in all types of
Powerful?
ways. Yeah.
Nigga, like protein powder. They use it to strengthen their muscles.
Look. Let me say this real quick. Look, they got suntan lotion, right?
Uh-huh.
What you think they got in that?
Does that it make them darker, or
What
does
you
it protect them
look?
from?
Yeah.
I
Look,
thought it protect them from the sun.
hold up real quick. There's a
They
video
do make them
on.
darker too.
Hold up, bro. There's a video on YouTube right now that's called "How the Sun Sees You," and it talks about the UV ray and all that stuff, and it shows how the sun sees you, like in like real time. You know what I'm saying? It shows you how it sees you. You know what I'm saying? And they all of the people like copper colored people, they were like regular in the UV. You know what I'm saying? It didn't damage them or nothing because we got protection, right? because we're carbon based. We're melanin. We're carbon based. They're sulfur based. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta put on protection, and that's that suntan lotion, and it protects them from the sun. You want to know why? Because through the sun thinks they look like us when they put on that suntan lotion. So they're putting on a black
Oh
face. That's what that
shit!
video showing you.
Hold
And
up.
the only way they can make that suntan lotion is with our DNA because you can't make synthetic melanin. Now y'all understand what's going
Interesting.
on now?
Nah, you can only dilute the original shit and then make it into a genetically modified form. But you're right, all the way.
Yeah. So just think about that for a minute.
Hey, this what
This shit
white
ain't
people
no
look like for
game.
real?
Just remember while you playing, you can be next. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody safe
Hey,
for real,
hey,
bro.
so real
Nah, I
quick,
feel you.
They
y'all.
snatching grown ass men.
Hey, check it out. We about to transition to the Sister Betty Love show, episode number 5, tracing your lineage, and she got some stuff she want to break down, y'all. So you guys are welcome to stay, but we're gonna let her take the floor, and
Peace, Sister Betty. Peace,
yeah, we'll
everybody.
just go from there.
How you
Hey,
doing?
so I want to introduce Sister Betty Love, Sister Betty Love show, and we're gonna let her take the floor, y'all. So you, like I said, you guys can hang out or whatever, but we're gonna let her kind of go do her thing. Peace, Sister Betty. What's cracking, lady?
Well, hell, I need help with my genealogy anyway, so I'm
Can y'all
Yeah,
good.
so
hear
she
me?
about to break down.
Yeah.
Absolutely, go ahead, sis.
Okay. Chief, I gotta share a screen, but because I typed out my little notes that I wanted to share with everybody. I wanted to talk about the bull crap, Indian blood, quantum, and all that crap today with the people, if you don't
Okay, I
mind.
got you. You
Because
can
I
go ahead
want
and
to
share it.
see, I want to
Yeah.
get your perspective, and I'm so glad certain people are on the panel so I can get their perspective and their input. So I got some real helpful brothers up here. I see.
Oh yeah, Yesha was definitely he's definitely
Yes.
it's his
So
lane
so
for
let me
sure.
unmute my camera because so now I got to share this crap. You know I suck at this, Chief. So y'all got to guide me through it, okay? Share. Share screen. I think he said you got to hit on it and then share, right? Am I doing this right?
Yep, you right there. You
Okay.
got it.
So now the next thing I have to go to is I got to do a screen or something like that. Am I doing it right? Can y'all see this? Let me go
Yep,
back.
Yes,
sure
yes,
can.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I got to go in my drive. Where the hell I put that letter at? Okay, here we go. I want to see if I can get it. Nope, this ain't the one. Damn it. That is not the one. Shit. That's not the one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. And I want to know if one of y'all beautiful brothers would read this. Is it blowed up big enough?
Yep. Want me to
And
do it?
is it big enough?
I,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
big
need
enough. You got it.
I wanted to know if the audience could see it real good.
Well, you might have to scroll up a little bit. Hold on, let me take that off of there. That's what I'm gonna say.
Scroll up a little bit.
No, no,
Let
no. Let
me,
me take that off real fast.
because I can't see how it's looking. I'm gonna have to, guess I'm looking on my cell phone.
Okay. You want me to read it?
Yeah, I want
I
y'all
think
to read it because Chief, I really want you to pay close attention to it so y'all can help me out because I read case law and I really, really, really need y'all to help me here because I'm a little agitated by this. Okay.
All right. So you got the United States Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
Bureau of Indian Affairs is a division of the Department of Interior. Everybody clear on this?
mhm.
Okay. I just want to put that out there. So
Mm-hmm.
certificate of degree, certificate of degree of Indian blood with the 5 civilized tribes. Okay, now what the hell is Indian blood? Is my first question I got in my head. What the hell is Indian blood? Like, I need to know what this is. Is this a legal term? Is this
Yeah,
something?
it's what they call blood quantum, and that's how they associate or give you the access to the civilized tribes. You have to have specific blood quantum or Native American ancestry
All right,
to
hold that thought.
receive one of these certificates.
Can I
Hold that
say
thought for a
something?
second. Okay. No, real quick though, real quick, and you got the floor. Yes,
All
because
right.
I definitely want to hear your answer to this. So before I forget, so we talking Indian blood, right? And we talking blood quantum. So when I hear that from a mestizo who's mixed with the original people and a European. So if he says that a mixed person has a certain blood quantum, how does this make sense? Please make this make sense to me, Yeshua. Go ahead, bro.
Hello.
It doesn't make sense. That's what they use to grab themselves into our culture because that shit didn't happen that long ago. It was only
Yeah.
they officially hijacked our shit and became corporate in the early 1900s, bro. Like
Talk
I
that
said,
talk,
man,
man. That's facts.
everything's a process, bro. Like that blood quantum shit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
For the simple fact,
Exactly.
we're living proof of that. That's what
Hello.
I'm saying. That's why it's important to get your damn records, man. Because
Yeah.
now you got something that everybody don't have. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You got something that everybody that's claiming your shit don't have. Do you know in the Huffington Post they got an article that I read where they talking about let's talk about the Cherokee. They there was a 800,000 motherfucking European motherfuckers claiming to be fucking Cherokee. They said it's so sick
Yeah,
that they call it Cherokee syndrome, my nigga. Like, so you got so like
they
you
also
gonna
call
be
they call a
Cherokee.
lot of the Latinos acting as if they was Yamasees in other tribes. They called them too.
Yeah. And a lot of them motherfuckers is starting to run from that position. Like, you know what I'm saying? They starting to flee from that position because motherfuckers like us is stepping up, getting the real paperwork, got the real documentation and the real geographical locations that's documented in the motherfucking treaties that's connected to the motherfucking law of the land. God
Hello.
damn.
Talk that shit, man.
Hey, Sister Betty,
You
can
know what I'm
I
saying?
Facts.
God
read
damn.
you what blood quantum is real quick so everybody
well, I
know that how
well
fake this is?
no, I know. I want you to do that, but after you finish all of this, because
Oh, okay. Let
I
me
want
finish
Okay.
this
y'all to.
then.
No, the reason why I want
Okay.
Chief to finish reading it, because I want y'all to break this and bust this out, debunk it out. I
All
want you to
right, so I'm
blow it out.
already in it. So let me get into it. So it says certificate of degree of Indian blood with the five civilized tribes, y'all. Okay, so we are in we the Indian blood is something that's crazy, but we talking about the five civilized tribes. So then they're letting you know that they're specifically saying that it has to go through these civilized tribes that who actually have acquiesced and made deals with these people. We agree with that? Okay, so we understand that. Okay, so a certificate of degree of Indian blood, that's CDIB, is a certificate is a certification by the Bureau of Indian Affairs. That's the BIA. That an individual has a specific quantum of Indian blood, okay, CDIBS, right, of the five civilized tribes are issued in accordance with the Act of August 4th, 1947, right, 61 Statute 731, okay, as amended, are based on a review of acceptable records of documents which verify the applicant's lineage, right, from an enrollees and certify only as the degree of Indian blood calculated from the rolls of the five civilized tribes. Y'all hear that?
Mhm.
Now this is some shit they made up. Like they talking about
Yep.
like laws in 1947. So we gotta talk about that too. So this is kind of crazy. So in order to be certified for a certificate of degree of Indian blood, that's CDIB, you must establish by a
Preponderance of
preponderance
evidence.
of evidence your lineage from an ancestor or ancestors listed with a degree of Indian blood on the index and final rolls of citizens and freedmen of one of the five civilized tribes: Cherokee, Choctaw, Creek, Chickasaw, Seminole, approved on June 21, 1906, 34 Statute 325, right? We want to talk about this before we get to the next part.
It's up to you. I just want
Yeah,
to. I
I
just
kind of,
want
I
y'all
don't.
to blow this out because it's bullshit.
Is that the
Well,
same
okay.
thing?
So
It's
what's the science behind blood quantum? Is my question. Because now it's
It's
going back to roles.
the science is it's so that non-Indians can claim the land and the resources, bro.
No, no,
That's
no.
what the
I'm saying though, is there like a test for blood quantum?
no, because
No,
if you
no. Actually, it's
Huh?
it's not
paperwork. That's
required.
why it's not. It's paperwork. That's why I wanted you to read the whole thing before you blow it out because it has nothing to do with taking a blood test at all.
No,
But
not at all.
but
It's just
everything
so
to
that
do with
Europeans can say that they're 132nd Cherokee and shit.
exactly. It has
That's
nothing
what
to
I'm
do with
trying to
taking a
tell
blood
you.
test because they will not take a blood test when they
No, and
I
they
got the
don't
take
have.
Indian blood.
background. I got the background on blood quantum. If y'all want it, or y'all want to wait to the to the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Let's do this right here, and then we back to the blood quantum. Okay. So I just wanted to go in order. You know, they're talking about the index and the final of rows of the citizens and freedmen of one of the five civilized tribes. But here's my thing, right? They went from 1947, right? An act, right? According to an act of in August of 1947, right? Now, here's the thing. It's interesting that they said that, and then they went down to June 21st, 1906.
Hold
Another
on.
statute, right? So here's the thing. When you write something in 1947, right, you're changing stuff from 1906.
Hmm.
Y'all understand what I'm saying? We
Yep.
got Charles, um, um, the guy Dawes, right? The Dawes, the commission. There was five Europeans. They're not even Indians who are creating the Dawes goddamn roads. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So we got to
Yep.
understand this. This is 1906. A lot of y'all have grandparents or great grandparents that were born in this time period. So
Yep.
this is modern. This is not like, you know what I'm saying? So these people have created this whole Native American people by using some fucking rolls and some blood quantum bullshit. But anyway, I'm gonna get back into this. It says, okay, the rolls of the five civilized tribes were closed. Y'all hear this? Were closed by an act of Congress effective March 4th, 1907, and persons born after March 4th, 1906 were not eligible for enrollment. Hmm?
what?
Yes.
Hmm?
Exactly. This shit
Peace,
is
peace, peace. Let me.
crazy.
This Day
Jay,
Freeway.
what to do, bro?
Let me show y'all where that's at though in law, and that's where a lot of people miss. They talking about Mongols, from the Alaskan act that they did. Type in Title 25. United States
Hold
Code
on,
Title
hold on.
25.
Hold on. We almost finished this right here, and then
All right,
we'll
go
let.
ahead and finish up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna let you guys get into the quantum and then Title 25 and stuff
Yeah.
because we want to break this down. Um, I mean, this is crazy, y'all. Like it's
Yes,
telling
it
you that
is.
if you born after, but they say persons born after March 4th, 1906 were not eligible for enrollment. Now it's interesting that 1906 is the also the birth date of the Alphas.
The who?
The Alphas,
What's that, Chief?
A Phi A, the first so-called black fraternity. Well, it was
Oh.
actually the second, but it was created by the Boule, Sigma Pi
When,
Phi.
when was the
Oh,
Right?
birth
okay.
certificate made?
All this is happening at the same time. Them changing our identities while pushing these so-called um, gatekeepers on our people.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the gatekeepers and these people that simultaneously they're working against our people to take our people in a different direction. You understand what I'm saying? So 1906, it was just interesting. I just seen 1906, and I know that's alphas, right?
Wasn't that when the birth certificate was made? Or like,
Yeah. Yeah. 1906, right?
it's all like the same time frames.
Yep.
I mean, it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's real. So even when you look at like one of the civilized tribes is Seminole, right? There's no such fucking thing as a Seminole. Period. It's all created, right? It's a created thing, and we got to talk about it because Cherokee's created as well. So they got Cherokee and Seminole here. So let me. So y'all think Choctaw was created as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
So
you
these,
said,
Well, you know
hold up,
what?
like my
You know
ancestors
what?
weren't sitting there like, oh, I'm a Choctaw, when they came here. No, we wasn't.
hey, I can explain the
Okay.
whole Dawes Roll thing and all that shit because the Dawes Commission didn't take over until 1893. We made our own rolls and all that shit and
That's
census
right.
before that.
That's
Oh,
right.
whoa,
We
And
whoa.
had
the
our
final
own.
look,
That's new
which
to
is
me.
their standard, the corporate Indian standard now is the final rolls. That's what makes you eligible for a CDIB card to get the land allotments, the land, which is the wealth, and the resources from the trust and all that
Right?
shit.
And
So,
Renagi, didn't
and
we had one
I forgot what I was
created
about to say.
before this one, right?
No.
Hmm?
Yeah, I want to hear about the ones I want to hear the roles that's created before the
Before
Dawes
this one,
role.
right?
Yeah,
There was
I'm gonna
one
have to
and they
see
did
those because I
away
never
with
heard
No,
that.
of those.
see, look, look,
Yeah,
because
I don't know about that one.
The Dawes Roll Act was enacted in 1887, bro. They was allotting land out since then, all the way to 1906, bro. And
No, I'm
there's
with you on
see,
that. I'm
there's a
not
lot of
tripping on that.
shit that
But
y'all
you're
gotta.
saying that we had
There's a
our
lot of
own
shit
roles.
y'all
That's
gotta
just
understand.
what you said. You said that we
Yeah,
had roles before
and it's the
1897.
only reason. Yeah, and the only reason why they're saying 5 civilized tribes because those 5 tribes were the ones when it was wartime, they had the most power. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And a
Yep.
lot of the other tribes came under their umbrella. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I can
Correct.
prove that. I got documentation of
No, we believe that. That's true.
the
We know that.
Miami, the Erie, the
Yeah.
fucking Delaware, the fucking a couple other motherfuckers trying to sign up under our lot because the Cherokee owned a lot of fucking land around these parts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we went to go see King James the first in 1730, and they wrote about us. All seven Cherokee chiefs from each clan went out there to see King George the First, bro, and did
Hold on.
decree.
So no, I got you. I hear you. Is this almost done, Sister Betty? Or is it like I gotta read it?
Let me see how much more is done. Cause I know, I really wanted y'all to read it all so you could really see how um they so you can really see how they went out their way to try to hide our identity as a people. And it just shows it and you could just like see it. And there's a case down here that I wanted to get into, but I didn't know that, you know, I just I just think we should go over this first and then talk about it because it's gonna make the show last longer anyway. But there's this case that's like real crazy that's within the document itself. So I don't know. I just wanted you to read it, Chief. Unless you want me to read it. Hello? Did Chief leave?
No,
Or
I'm
did he?
back. I'm back. So okay, we're going back to this. Okay.
I don't know. You just want to debunk it. I just thought that there was
No. I'm
more.
not debunking it. I'm just kind of breaking it down as we go. I just want to point out there's no goddamn such thing as a Seminole. Seminoles
No,
come
there's
from the
not.
descriptive term of the Maroons. Okay,
Hmm.
maroon.
So you
Maroon
want to break it
is
down, Chief, at blow it out as you go along.
Well, yeah, because that way we don't got to go back over it. Like we can just kind
Okay.
of go down with it. I'm not gonna go
Okay.
through it too. I just wanted to point out that Seminole, for instance, right, is a created term by them. They created Seminole. Okay, by them creating something, they have ownership. Okay, they own Seminole. Okay, Seminole comes from a descriptive term of what the Spanish people describe the people that they seen when they came here. They called them Maroons. Maroon means brown. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. It just means brown. Okay, so when they changed from Cimarron, and then when the British came in and took over, right, the Spanish territories, they changed Cimarron to Seminole. When they changed it to Seminole, they changed the meaning of what Maroon or Cimarron stand for. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the British said, okay, well we can write this and we can create this word spell, and anybody that identifies with the Seminole people, right, you will be considered a runaway slave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we did a Seminole bill not too long ago, and
Mm-hmm.
they're telling you that you have free Seminole.
Hmm.
How the fuck do you have free runaway people? How does this work? How does that see? It's so goddamn dumb that
It
I want to
is.
punch y'all in y'all fucking faces because there's
Yeah.
no possible
Yep.
way for you motherfuckers to still be teaching this dumb shit to our people.
Yeah.
It's I'm not civilized. I don't want to be a part of any civilized motherfucking people.
I
That's
don't
y'all fucking
either.
problem that y'all have. That you
Yep.
motherfuckers want to be a part of the civilized fucking white people. That's what you want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
you're descendants of your ancestors who sold us the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Go be with the motherfuckers, but don't come over here telling us and these babies that this is what the fuck we got to do. Because this is the
Exactly.
reason why they have power on our fucking land is because we went and signed up for their fucking roles instead of
That's right.
busting Charles Dawes' fucking head. That's what the
Yep.
fuck we should have been doing.
Correct.
My tribe was like, oh, fuck Charles Dawes. What the fuck that fool at? Let's bust his motherfucking head. Fuck y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's y'all fucking problem. And that's why y'all never gonna win right there because you believe
That's
this
right. I
bullshit.
agree. You're right, Chief.
Fuck off.
You're
Yo,
right.
This shit made me
let
mad,
me.
bro. Like,
You're
I don't
right.
give a fuck about no piece of paper. You can't write something down on a piece of paper that you can't prove that's original piece of paper to it.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the shit. You
I
can't do it.
agree.
And you niggas gonna pull out a piece of paper. Oh, okay, well, goddamn, if I could write something on a piece of paper and say, well, okay, well, we're magicians and we're magical people, right? That don't make it true.
Mm-hmm.
We believe everything that these people put on a piece of paper for us.
Yep. We gotta stop.
You have freedmen, you have freemen. What's the difference between a freedman and a free man? Oh, if you're freed, mean that you was in bondage before that. See,
Right.
when we're reading this right here, they're telling us that they're not even making a distinction between a freed man and a free man. You understand what I'm saying? They don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do that because they don't want you to understand that we were free on this land. They want
That's
us to
right.
all be freed man,
Right.
but
Right.
we were the free man. Okay,
Right.
we were the masters of this land. They
Right.
are the apprentice. They were the slaves. They came
Correct.
here. We were the masters. We were the owners of the land. Somehow they
Mm-hmm.
tricked us. It took hundreds of years for them to trick us out of this shit. And they use these goddamn documentation to do it. And this is the problem. And so I know people be mad at me, but I'm like, yo, bro, like you can be civilized all you want to. That's cool. That's what got us in this position, bro. And don't
It
act like
seems.
it didn't. Let's be clear on that.
It
Us
seems
being
to me that they
civilized got us in
switched
this
this
position.
around.
Go ahead, brother.
You're right. It seems like they switched this shit around. We weren't the freedmen.
Right. That's right.
Well, let me add one little thing. Y'all said anyone born after 1906 couldn't be considered under this legislation, right? Well, I just
Mm-hmm.
figured out that they created the American Sociology Society in 1906 as well. So that might
Mm-hmm.
explain a lot of things because if they're just now, or if they're about to create a whole new social paradigm for someone, first they gotta kill the old understanding of things. You know what I'm saying? They gotta close the back door. You know what I'm saying? Once they close the back door, they create this new sociology society to create a new social construct for people to internalize. That's what I'm seeing in here.
Mm. So, Chief, Chief,
Yes.
where did you leave off at?
Um.
I'll pick up and
Okay,
read if you want me
I
to.
just start off this. The rolls of the five civilized tribes were closed by an act of Congress effective March 4th, 1907, and persons born after March 4th, 1906 were not eligible for enrollment, right? I just wanted to point out, right? So when if you had five civilized tribes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So then that means that there's hundreds of other tribes, correct? That wasn't
Yep.
classified as being civilized tribes. What
Yep.
happened to those people?
It's bullshit. That's a lot of us.
They became Negro, black, colored,
There we go.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
We
Exactly.
became
mulatto.
citizens.
Okay. So I'll be asking questions
Right.
like, well, how
Because it
many of
said
us
you
went
gotta
on the
read
Trail
the
of Tears?
terminology. You gotta read
Yeah.
the terminology. It says any persons, right? And persons means something different in law.
That's
So
right.
they letting you know anybody born as a persons after this act can't reap the benefits of, you know what I'm saying, this act basically. No matter
Mm.
their lineage.
This is
Yo, it
bull
also
crap.
says also persons who died
Right.
prior
Right.
prior to September 1st, 1902 were not eligible for enrollment. Huh?
Right.
Exactly. This
How the
shit
fuck I'm
pissed
not
me
eligible if I
off,
die
man.
before the
Oh, this shit pissed
So
me off. I said, "Oh
so
Because
peep
hell
they
no."
this.
hijacked your shit.
So
Yep.
peep this. Let me break down blood quantum real quick so we can have an understanding why what they were stealing real quick. So it says
Okay.
blood quantum or Indian blood laws are laws in the United States and the former 13 colonies that define Native American identity by percentages of ancestry. These laws were enacted by the American government. By contrast, many tribes and nations do not include blood quantum as part of their own enrollment criteria. A person's blood quantum is defined as the fraction of their ancestry out of their total ancestors who are documented as full-blooded Native Americans. For instance, a person who has one parent who is a full-blooded Native American, and one who is no Native American ancestry has a blood quantum of one half. Nations that use blood quantum all often do so in combination with other criteria. For instance, the Omaha Nation requires a blood quantum of a one-fourth Native American. The Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma, they don't have no blood quantum requirements and only requires lineal descent from a documented Cherokee ancestor. Other nations have a tiered system, with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma using lineal descent for general enrollment, but requiring a blood quantum for at least one fourth of anyone who would run for tribal council. So, as y'all can see, they basing it off of anyone who's documented off of this fucking act that they did from these Dawes rolls. We already know it
Which is
don't got nothing to do with blood. Ain't got nothing to do with who the actual motherfuckers was.
yep.
It only got to do with these people that we know is $5
Exactly.
Indians. This is the same time period as
Hmm.
$5 Indians, y'all.
Yep. What time period was that? When I gave the $5
This
Indian.
is
I can't hear.
She said, what time period was $5 Indians? The Dawes Rose. This is 1890s.
Or was the 1890s? Okay. Me and Willie was trying to figure that out. I didn't want to go back and listen to
Let me
Dane's tape,
see.
but I thought I don't know why I thought they came in the like 70s. I don't know.
Well,
Didn't
yeah, the
they speak
Dawes
of?
Rose created was 1893. The General Allotment Act was from 1887.
No,
So
I
right
mean
around
the
that time
$5
period.
Indians.
Yeah, they were on the rolls, right? That's how they got on those rolls. That's how they became $5 Indians, right?
Oh,
On the
okay.
rolls.
I wasn't
We
sure
got to
what the
follow the
year.
rolls. Yes. It says the commission was authorized by the United States Congress in 1893, which is the Dawes Rose Commission.
Okay.
So
So
everybody on the Dawes Rose is a $5 Indian, or
No,
not
that's the
is it?
thing. They
necessarily,
fucking
Okay,
lied.
no,
Those
okay,
but
people
they
that's
okay.
utilized that. Yeah, they utilized that role to basically close the back door. So even if you were
Oh,
an original Aborigine, right? You understand? If you weren't on the rolls, then your ancestors won't gonna be able to get any of the allotments.
okay.
but the those people that's on them damn roads, they were not $5 Indians. The fucking
Not
five
all
dollar
of them. No.
Indians, the $5 Indians came in claiming them as their ancestors, and they were not. Right,
That could have been
Chief?
the case as well.
That was the case. That was the case because during that time, they was trying to it was they was working on the treaties, right? And they came up with that Dawes Roll shit. But then after that, all them damn white people came in and started claiming our ancestors' names that's on them damn rolls.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. And I can also see some white people going to the government like, hey, I got can I get some of that? But we also know that they put in several other different acts where they gave Europeans land allotments. And they did the same thing as they did with the Dawes Commission. They just
That's why I wanted Chief to finish reading this document because then there's a link to go to a case where a woman, it's about allotments and shit of land. But I wanted him to finish this and then y'all kill it.
Oh, okay. So let me get back to this. It says also persons who died prior to September 1st, 1902 were not eligible. I got to keep going back and forth, y'all. Not eligible for enrollment. Also, person. Okay, no, that's it right there. Okay, not eligible for enrollment. So basically, I don't understand how that works. How would you not be Indian, right? If you died prior to them creating these roles. So basically, what they're saying is right that if you had died or whatever or wasn't born in a certain thing, you can't make this role. So can you imagine how many people predate this goddamn role that didn't make the role or
right.
Exactly.
died prior to the role? Like
Exactly.
the shit is
That's very ironic, Chief, that
disrespectful.
they said anybody before this point ain't an Indian and anybody after
Yeah.
this point ain't an Indian.
Exactly. That's some fucking bullshit.
That's how
That's
you
some
know they ain't
bullshit.
the fucking Indians. Cause they got a specific pinpoint where you can actually tell where they came from.
Now, peep game. Now you got bougie Indians, and this is why I call y'all bougie Indians, right? That say, hey, you not on these roads right here. Your people ain't on these roads right here. That means that you're not Indian. Really? Or your grandparents wasn't born and died on that reservation. That makes you not an Indian, nigga. That's like me saying if my people wasn't on in the projects, I'm not a real black person. I'm not a real Indian. That's what y'all saying. I'll say the dumb shit out your mouth. These people
Mm-hmm.
created these goddamn tribes. They
Yep.
created these roles. They created these tribes, and they incorporated them, and that's why they own them today. I'm not about to go kiss
Talk
nobody's
that
ass
shit.
to be a slave for nobody. My ancestors is
I agree.
I promise y'all, like it's not the
The
thing to
choice
do.
is the same too. The
Fuck
choice is the
Henry Douglas.
same as it was for them as it is for us today. Either you can
Facts.
choose to be a citizen
Talk that
or you
shit,
can
man.
stand up on your ancestors. It's the same choice. Ain't shit
Mm-hmm.
changed. Ain't nothing new
Exactly.
under the sun, family. You
That's a
know?
Exactly.
fact. This is 100 years ago, y'all. Like we act like this is a long time ago. This is literally 2, 3 generations ago.
Yeah.
Like our people are still suffering from the racial integrity acts, the
Yep.
fucking Negro Indian removal
Move
acts,
at.
and all the other things
Right.
that
Yep.
these people did to change history, bro. This is the things that we should be suing for restitution for.
Exactly.
You did
True
this
indeed.
right here. You changed these books right here, and you did this right here. This what put these people in the position that we in right now. America would not be fucked up unless they made it fucked up. They made it fucked up.
Exactly. Right.
I'm telling
True
y'all,
indeed.
No,
they
that's
did
right.
this to the indigenous people of this land. They said, well, fuck, we gotta wage war on the indigenous people of this land. We're gonna dam up their rivers. We're gonna fucking kill their fucking food sources. We're gonna make them come
Mm-hmm.
buy food from us.
Yep.
What are you're a slave now. God damn it. Sorry.
That's exactly what they did,
Yep.
Chief.
That's
Fuck is
what they
wrong with y'all?
did.
They starved our people out. They starved us out. And
Mm-hmm.
then
It's
they gave
crazy,
a
man.
nigga a choice. Hey, you
Yep.
want to be a citizen? You can go get a job, goddamn earn yourself a living,
Right.
or you can starve the motherfucking death, and goddamn we gonna
Yep.
be sniping you niggas off with these goddamn slave catching
Yep.
goddamn, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Like you
Yep.
gave
Yep.
niggas a choice, but they're not. What a lot of people aren't doing is they're not admitting this is actually a systematic thing that has been planned. This ain't no shit. It was some white people. It was just some people who just happened to fall upon this slavery shit. No, this was a systematic uh plan to actually take the culture, the land of a specific people. So if you're gonna charge anybody, if you wanna take it to court, right? Now this is like
Mm-hmm.
law talk now. If you want to go to court and you actually want to charge one of these agencies or institutions, right? First thing you gotta know is what you charging them with. And then you need to know whether what you're charging them with, you can actually provide evidence that can at least circumstantial enough evidence to suggest that this is so if we go to
Mm-hmm.
if we want to take any of these institutions, first you got to do a class action or what is called a tort law, right? So that it can cover a wide range of people. But like you have to be able to identify who you want to motherfucking charge and what you want to charge them with. We got the proof, right? But we got to
Mm-hmm.
fit it within terms so that it actually can be applied and we can actually seek
Mm-hmm.
remedy. That's the key. We
Mm-hmm.
know they took shit. We got all the proof. We got fucking
Yep.
papal bulls and shit with them telling them to stop fucking with the Aborigines of Americas from the 1400s. So we already know like
Mm-hmm.
that we can prove genocide, right? But
Yep.
first we got to fucking identify who genocide came upon. They gonna play the game with you,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're gonna say, "Oh, well, who your people?"
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Indians. Well, what Indians? The Native
Mm-hmm.
Americans. Oh, what Native Americans? You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so when you going at these motherfuckers, very direct and precise. That's the key term of
Yep.
the day. Precision, family. If we precise with what we doing and how we moving, we can fuck with this shit. This shit is nothing.
Yes, we
We got
can.
everything we need. You know what I'm
We
saying?
do.
But if we
Yep.
don't be precise and we don't be tight and we get up in around them and they start knocking us around and shit, if your shit ain't tight, you gonna come loose. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Yep. Okay, so
So you
Chief.
can't be a Native American unless you is 1902 or after. I'm sorry, after 19. No, not after 1902 and not before 1902. So you got to be a 1902 Indian. Is that what that says?
Basically, yeah, they saying you had to sign up by then. If you didn't, if you would sit out of luck.
That's crazy. That's like a nigga holding out put for 24 hours in the woods where nobody at. Talking about, yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
posted, we told y'all, sign up. Nobody came. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Them motherfuckers. Hey, they do it. They still do it to this day. They're called public notices. They put them around your neighborhoods and shit, and they
Yep.
let you know they about to have a hearing about some shit they about to tear up in your community. And half the
Yep.
niggas don't even
Mm-hmm.
show up.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same shit. Nothing is new under the sun, man. They using the same algorithms. They using the
Same
same
tactics.
playbook.
Same tactics because
Right.
they know
They-
So
that we're not gonna show
so
up.
So it says no provisions for additions now exist under federal law,
Law.
right? In numerous instances, persons unquestionably of Indian blood were excluded from the rolls, right? Because they did not meet the residency requirements. Huh?
uh-huh.
There were also, oh, I'm gonna keep going, y'all. There were also many instances where individuals simply choose not to seek tribal affiliation, right? And did not make application for enrollment. Think about that, y'all. Right? Therefore, persons
Sound like the
descended
census,
from
chief.
Indians, right? Persons descended from Indians of the five civilized tribes who separated from their tribes. Can you scroll up a little bit?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Chief. Tell me where.
Separated. That's cool right there. Um, uh, Separated from their tribes and did not maintain
Indian.
tribal affiliation, cannot be certified to receive services from the Bureau also. That's the BIE. That means that you can't qualify to get these services, right? From the
Mm-hmm.
BIE. Keep this
Hmm.
in mind. But you can qualify to get other services that they
Hello.
didn't have. Now,
Right.
keep in mind, they did not have welfare services other than the
No,
BIE
they did not.
in late 1800s, 1900s. Are we all clear on this?
True
Don't fuck
indeed.
with me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
True
fuck with me.
indeed.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
True
So
indeed.
right now we are
Them
seeing
niggas
this.
was still getting off boats
Mm-hmm.
in the
There we go.
1800s.
Okay. Now once they classify people, I'm gonna keep going. I ain't gonna. I'll come back.
Gee, this shit
I'll
is.
go back.
I was pissed when
They
I
be
was
like, just
reading it
read it,
too.
motherfucker. Just read it.
Believe me, I
Oh
was
shit.
pissed when I was reading it.
Fuck, man.
If you
This
get
is
tired, I'll
crazy.
read some too, Chief.
Okay, I'm gonna finish this last one part right here. Okay, did not make applications for enrollment. Okay, therefore, persons descended from Indians of the five civilized tribes who separated from their tribes, right? That's us, who separated from their tribes and did not maintain tribal affiliation, cannot be certified to receive services from the Bureau. Okay, also, when the final rolls of the Cherokee, right, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole tribes were prepared in 1906, right? Separate rolls were made for freedmen and intermarried whites, and both groups are shown in the final rolls with no blood degree. CDIBs are not issued to these groups because they possess no Indian degree. Yeah, y'all
So
see that?
what does that tell you?
Indian blood degree. I'm sorry, yeah. Yeah, what does that
That
say?
that
What does that
these
tell
people
you?
ain't shit.
Intermarried whites.
Intermarried whites.
But I'm saying though, they're saying that okay, so the persons that they're identifying that were actual, right? Think about it, were actually a part of the tribes but didn't enroll. For whatever reason, they just didn't enroll with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put you in the same category as a person who married white, who married into thing and married into these people. So once
Mm-hmm.
again, now you're in the status of a person who's not actually a member of these people, which we are. But because you didn't register or you didn't make the deadline to come, register with them, now you are classified as a Negro. Y'all see how this work? Or color. They literally start making these classifications while they are creating these roles. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the whole thing, man. So fuck y'all, whatever y'all talking about, some blood quantums and all that dumb ass shit. But what's crazy is like that people are literally having to battle with these people because they'll say, okay, I'm not 32%, right? Or 32, 132 of an Indian, right? They could go back and say, well, we're 116, and they would get more money or services from the BIE. You understand? So it was no
Mm-hmm.
such thing as the welfare department when they already had these services that they would, if you that you had to come register with them to get. Y'all see how this works? So
Yeah.
you see why it would be problematic for you to go sign up with these people because you will be
Mm-hmm.
put yourself in this position of of servitude, right?
Yep.
Of dependence. You have to depend on these people. You have to stay on these reservations. You have to stay on your allotted land, or you will not get these services. Do you see the control there?
Yep.
Okay, this is all we saying, y'all. Like it's the
But I
shit
don't
is.
understand why they fucking want to put you in that kind of control and the damn chief don't even live in the fucking country. No, you know what? I ain't even gonna say no. Okay, go ahead, chief, because I'm gonna start getting mad again.
But this is it though, y'all. This is how they beat us. They had us start coming in and signing they censuses. Oh, we'll come through and put a pencil in your hair or a brown paper bag. Y'all see what I'm saying? And you will
Mm-hmm.
have a
They
child
could have even
that will be
they could have
classified
did it
in your
even
registry
nastier, Chief.
based off a brown paper bag. What'd you say?
They could have did it even nastier. The same way they telling niggas that they had to sign up on the rolls by a certain
Uh-huh.
amount of time or they weren't gonna be considered Indians. Or they could have just told niggas that the next year and then signed them up for the census. You see what I'm saying? They could have told them these are Dawes Indian rolls and they were census rolls. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all niggas missed the cut last year, but y'all can come on this year. We got you. and not even knowing they ain't no damn Dodge roads. They might have been signing Indians roads and was signing census papers. Just gonna put that
Yeah,
out there.
So, Chief,
it's crazy.
you
Hmm.
want to continue, and then when you get down to the link, I'll read the court case because that shit. Oh, that just burnt me up.
Okay, is in preparation for the allotment of communal lands of the five civilized tribes. The Congress created a commission to the five civilized tribes in order for the commission to make rolls of the citizens or members of each tribe, and the Congress declared that once the commission's rolls were approved by the Secretary of the Interior, right, those rolls will constitute the final rolls of citizenship. It is well settled that the roles, quote, the roles of citizenship and freedmen of the five civilized tribes approved by the Secretary of Interior shall be conclusive as to the quantum of the Indian blood of any enrolled citizen or freedmen of said tribes. And then they got a case Cully versus Mitchell, and that's 37F 2D 499, quote 10th Circuit 1930. Certified denied. Okay, so now this is
It
in
was denied.
1930 that we talked about this court right here. So this is 1930. I just want to put that out. So denied 281 US 740. They're just giving you the like one thing I like about this is they're actually giving you a case number that you can go look up.
That's the one I want to read. Can I go to it
Okay,
now, Chief?
absolutely. Let's
Okay.
go.
Control.
Because and this is went to federal appellate courts.
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go. Please, I hope it works. Control, click. Okay, I think it's gonna work. Yeah, it did. Y'all can see it?
Yep.
Okay.
Cully versus
Cully
Mitchell.
versus Mitchell. 37. That's the same thing Chief just read. I'm not even gonna read all the unnecessary stuff on the top. There's just introducing the parties to the case. But let me see. Okay, I'll start right here. Um, Before Lewis, Cotterill, and McDermott, those are the three circuit judges in reference to this case. And McDermott was one of the cir, um, circuit judges, and he goes, the roles of the citizenship of the five civilized tribes, approved by the Secretary of the Interior, carry the name of Maria Cully, the appellant. She's the one who appealed this, and opposite her name, under the heading "Blood," the fraction 1/4, which is a quarter, under the Act of May 27th, 1908. All lands, including homesteads, of said allottees enrolled as mixed blood Indians having less than half Indian blood, including minors, shall be free from all restrictions. The same act made provision for filling in the various counties of Oklahoma of certified copies of such portions of said records as affect title to lands in the respective counties. The records of Seminole County show the following and nothing else. 1827, Maria Cully, Post Office, Sonora, age 18, sex female, blood 1/4 description 567 and 8, 37.72 acres surplus. The government issued a patent to her as a 1/4 blood, as a quarter blood, and the defendants acquired by conveyance through Maria Cully interest in her land. This action is to set aside such conveyances and for an accounting upon the ground that Maria Cully was in fact a 3/4 blood restricted Indian, and the conveyances not being approved by the Secretary of the Interior were voided and of no effect. The trial court found for the defendants, and this appeal follows. So here we go. The plaintiff does not contend that the quantum of her blood can be proved by evidence other than the approved rolls. Her contention is that one must look to all the rolls of the 5 civilized tribes, that elsewhere upon the Seminole roll appears the name of her mother. I'm gonna mess this name up. Eshoponaka, listed as a half-blood. That on the Creek roll appears the name of one Washington Riley, listed as a full-blood. She says he is a daughter. She says she is a daughter of Eshoponaka and Washington Riley. And as a mathematical deduction from that fact, the rolls show her to be 3/4 blood Indian. In appellant's brief, she says that the identification of herself and her parents could have been done solely upon parole evidence. In this case, however, she proves her percentage by the oral evidence of herself, her brother, and 2 acquaintances, and by reference to the census card of her mother. This card, which is a part of the enrollment records, but not a part of the approved rolls of citizenship, and a copy of which is not on file in the various counties, bears a number 578. The same number appears opposite the name of the counties. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. The same number appears opposite the name of the appellant on the approved roll under the heading Census Card Number, but does not appear on the copy filed in the various counties. These cards are in the custody of the superintendent of the 5 civilized tribes. The card carries a certain data as to Esfofanaka, including her blood as one half, and lists her 11 children, the 10th of whom is the plaintiff, who is this lady. Plaintiff's age is given, her blood as 1/4, and her father as Washington Riley. The identity of her father, with the Washington Riley appearing on the Creek roll as a full blood, is satisfactorily proven by the evidence. Having thus established her percentage and identified them by evidence, the conclusion of the trial court that Maria Cully is in fact a 3/4 blood is correct. So this is what I don't understand. It's confusing to me, Chief. You see where I'm going with this? Y'all see? Do y'all see? Do y'all see the confusion? Hello? Hello? Okay, where did the brothers go? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all put a 1 in there if y'all can hear me? Oh, okay, you can hear me. But where did Wanagi and the other brothers go? Thank you. I see Chief's I don't know where my parties went, y'all. I'm still here. I wonder if they got kicked out.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I just stepped away
I
from something.
I couldn't hear you.
No, I'm here.
Oh, I'm back. I'm just waiting to get back in.
Oh, okay. So y'all missed all that. I'm not gonna go back on it. But anyway, whether here or there, I'm just gonna go down to the ruling, the court's ruling, because
Right.
it doesn't make any sense to read all this. I'm just not. Um, down here, the committee's table. This is some bullshit all day. Oh, that's pretty much it, Chief. I don't want to read anymore. It's just, I guess my whole point of this, for her father being full blooded and her mother being half, 55%. So if that's the case,
Right.
are doesn't this say that he was black, her dad? Because you can't be white and be more than a smaller percentage. The more white you
Well,
are, the less percentage.
that's a part of the hijack, right? So this is how this works. She's 75%, right? So it will work like this. She got one full-blooded black parent, and she has a mixed parent. Y'all get it?
Who's the mixed parent?
Either one of them, I don't know, whichever one
Well,
they said it was.
the father's full blooded,
So
and they're
then that
saying
means
that
that the mama was mixed. Yeah.
she was half.
Half.
So that drops her percentage.
I mean, according to them, but here's my thing, right? This is my whole thing, right? How do you make somebody 75% or 50% or 16% or whatever the percent that you come up with, right? How do you do that?
Exactly.
How does that take them away from them being of this land and other people? Y'all understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like that doesn't make any sense, right? It's an act of war. They should have never been counting us. They should have never been taxing us. They should have never been classifying us. These are all acts of war. So once niggas be going back to these things, I'm like, okay, well, how does this affect us today? How is it affecting us today? How are racist laws and roles, how are they legal today? Please explain this to me. Because guess what? If we had to go to court legally to sue these people, we can trace our shit back. The Department of Interior knows exactly who we are.
Yes.
Exactly. There's no getting around this. They know exactly who we are. So I think that's the next step, y'all. We're gonna have to call the Department of Interior live. Like, hey, how y'all doing? Blah, 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 blah. This is
We
what we
need
got
to
going on. This is what we
protest and
want to
march up to that bitch, because Congress is the one who
do.
did
Facts.
this shit. Congress did this shit to us. We need to be protesting right in Washington on Congress grounds. Because they're the ones who's solely responsible for this. Now the president can come in and I mean the Congress created the Department of Interior. They have everything to do with this shit. Nothing can be done without the approval of Congress.
Ain't they doing that census this year?
Huh?
Ain't they doing that census this year?
Yeah, they have control over all of that shit.
Would this be the time to do it though? Like, should we just go ahead and do it now?
I think we should. I don't like waiting on shit.
There's no point.
Because this is ridiculous. It's like they I mean, how do you make us say that we're Negroes and colored and all this? This is some bullshit. Oh, you didn't make you didn't sign up to be part of this tribe, so you're a Negro. You're not an Indian. Bullshit. Just like they said in there, a lot of Indians decided not to be affiliated with the tribes, which I don't fucking blame them. So if a lot of Indians decided not to be affiliated with the tribes, then where the fuck are they?
Don't the tribes sound like the projects?
They are.
Yeah, like where they stand at, what they call them, the territory or whatever.
That's what they gave us, the damn projects.
The project.
Even though this land is ours. Or the hood, that's us.
Yeah.
So this is where the other Indians are. They didn't want to join them damn tribes.
So they've been trying to do this since the 1830s.
Hello.
Hold on. So you got the 1830 Trail of Tears, the 1860 so-called freed slaves. Those rose in the 1890s. Then the end of the Dawes rose in what 1907, and then
1906, I think. Was it?
oh six.
What
Okay,
did it say?
I thought it was like from
Oh,
March
I
4th,
just got rid of my
1906
paper.
to March.
Where's that paper at? I think it. Yeah, here it is. When did they end this shit? Chief read it. Yeah, 1906, I think.
Okay,
If you were born after 1906.
you were just out of luck. Okay, and then who did the Great Depression mess with? Did it really mess with white people, or did it
Yeah,
mess with
that was the
us?
Great Depression was in the 1930s.
I know, but did that mess with them, or did that mess with us and our stuff? Them trying to like get us off of our land, because more people stayed in the South, right? After they trying to move everybody out, people still stayed down.
Yeah.
So they've been trying to get the rest of them off since then, right?
I believe so. I would say I would have to say yes.
I always feel like the Great Depression messed with us. And I remember, I think I was on here like a week ago when I was in the chat, and I was saying how my great grandmother came from Greenville, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
She was 4 years old when the 1927 flood happened, and all those people got relocated. That was like they last straw. They said, "Nah, we got to get these niggas out of here." And it just, to me, the timeline just add up to where they just keep trying to, no, get them out of here, get them out of here, get them out of here, get them out of here. And
Yeah.
then 100 years later, around 1920s, around the 1930s, it started in the 1830s, because 1828 the definition changed. That, which means in 1827 the definition of American was copper. 1828 it changed. So from 1827 to 1927 is when all this shit happened. And that flood was the last thing, and like 500,000 people had to be moved. These timelines are crazy.
Yeah.
They've been fucking with us forever. Excuse my language.
Yes.
I shouldn't talk like that.
That's why I said we need to go to Congress and fight this shit because this is wrong, man. And I think I strongly believe if we go there and fight this, I mean, how dare you name us colored? That's no.
Colored, Negro, Afro-American, African-American.
Because we couldn't call ourselves Indians, and if we did, we fucking got hung. No, you took our identity away from us.
Oh,
and it was by force.
Does anybody know? Does anybody know about the whole? I don't know how the South was in the 40s, but I know my mother told me a story about. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
My mother told me a story about my great grandmother. How when my grandmother was 2, they chased her back out of Mississippi when she tried to move back down there. She had 2 daughters, and then they like chased her out of Mississippi. Like, what was going on in the 40s that would make people do that?
It was the land shit. Back then, and even today, back then in the South, we had acres and acres of land. You ever see the houses? You remember the movie Color Purple?
I kind of remember it.
With Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover.
I know what it is.
Okay. You seen that house that Mr. living, all that damn land like that? We had lots of land. And white folks didn't like that shit.
So we couldn't go back and claim
it. It got taken by taxes, right, Chief?
Oh, that's rough.
Fraudulently.
They got taxes. How many people know about this or have it in your own family where, you know, you have uncles or cousins or grandfathers or whatever that had to leave because they bust somebody's head, or they was accused of of looking at a white woman or liking a white woman or raping somebody, right? This is why they lynch people. But y'all have to keep in mind, prior to 1900, more pale people were being lynched in America than so-called black people. You don't know why? Because they were poor.
Oh.
Okay, they were poor. So when we talk about 1927, I'm glad that we got a brother that's from Greenwood, right? Oh, right.
Greenville, but yeah, yes sir.
Greenville, my bad. Greenville. They used to Greenwood, Mississippi too. Greenville, right?
My
So
great
they
grandmother,
literally.
my great grandmother was.
So why did they have to displace 500,000 Aborigines from Mississippi to Chicago? Why? Why did they need us in Chicago if you had so many
Right.
white
That's what
people here
I'm
in
saying.
1927? Why did you have to do this?
So
The
we can go work for them.
1927-28 flood was another land grab from them to displace, to get millions of acres down in the South. But why they pushed our black asses up to the north to build these cities? Remember, Trump people just got here in 1920s, so he couldn't have built shit because he didn't have nothing.
That's a fact.
Okay, so we gotta, like, when we're gonna trace like wealth, like let's trace those people. Who's the wealthy people? How did they become wealthy? Did they come here on the land? No. How did they get this land? What did they do to get the land? Okay, once again, like Yeshua said, the land is the wealth. We got to get back to the land. They tricked us.
Yeah.
Okay.
They tricked us.
So,
You said they moved them to
I'm suing for
Chicago, right,
land.
Chief?
I'm sorry. Absolutely.
And so where did they move them? In the hood, right? Remember Good Times?
Yeah. And they gave us that
moved them in the
bullshit
fucking
song.
hood. They moved all of us in the hood, took our land.
But why did they need us there though? Like
What,
why?
in the
Like
hood?
why we? No, just in Chicago in general. Why did they need us in Chicago?
Because there's so many of us. They have to separate us in places in different locations. They
No,
separated.
I think I get what you're saying. Like,
But why would they need us in Chicago? Oh, I don't know.
I think it was just move up north, and Chicago was a big city up north. Because I got my mom's side went to Chicago, my dad's side went to Illinois by East St. Louis. So it was just going to the big cities to say, okay, well, we got to make this money somehow.
Oh my God. Copper Empress said that's why they flooded New Orleans.
That's one of the places that got flooded too. They flooded New Orleans like 3 times.
And what they do with them people, they moved them right up here north and gave them jobs in the casino here for free. They moved them right up here north because I know when I was playing blackjack, this guy was telling me, yeah, my family was, we lost everything in New Orleans and they put us up here and they gave us, jobs here in the casino. That was a good point out, Copper.
I mean, now think about this though.
Empress Hobart.
They even gave money for relief. Y'all remember the Katrina money? Everybody was getting thousands of dollars. Niggas was buying Louis and Gucci. Y'all remember this? They paid for people to be. They paid. So whenever they want to give us some money, they know they can come up with the money. This is my whole point. So okay, so it's not like it's a handout. It's restitution for all the crimes that you have done to the indigenous people of this land. We want our money. So I'm like, we need our check. We coming for our check. That's all I can tell y'all. We coming for our check. All right.
But do we just accept a check, or do we go back to get the land? Because the check don't mean nothing if they make the money, right?
No,
I'd rather get the land. I'd rather get the
first.
land.
Land and taxes first.
I want the resources. I want to be able to be on the farm and nobody come mess with me.
Nah, I need a check first though. I'll take the check. Give me the check. Fuck that.
I want the land because with the land we could build any fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's how and make more money than the check they give us. Because the check will run out. The land ain't going nowhere.
The resources keep replenishing itself.
What do you think, Chief? I want the land. God ain't making no more land.
Nah, I'll take the check. I'll say this. I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because I can buy.
You ain't gonna buy these white people off their land.
No. I'm not trying to buy them off their land. Like
okay. Off the land they owe us, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean, if we have to buy the land, like okay, well, I'd rather have a budget every year of billions of dollars to be able to build the things that we need to build in our community. They have the money for this. Fuck them.
Well, that sounds like
it's not welfare.
Like federally recognized, right? Or not? Okay, not federally recognized, but looking to them to get to give us something so we can go.
What our ancestors already paid into the tax code, giving us our money back instead of them going to give it to Iraqis and going to give it to Jewish people and going to give it to billions of dollars are being given away every year. You know that, right? Billions.
That's why I was thinking about the farms. Like if we take all the land,
take care of America first, though. There shouldn't be no poor Americans. Sorry, none, zero, not one.
A lot of my uncles was in the military. A lot of them, and I got a lot of them. So
Now, see, Chief, this is where they fucked their self at when they wrote this. There were also many instances where individuals simply chose. This is why another reason that backs up the fact that the people on them damn rolls is black. Because it says there were also many instances where individuals simply chose not to seek tribal affiliation and did not make application for enrollment. Therefore, persons descended from Indians of the five civilized tribes who separated from their tribes and did not maintain tribal affiliation cannot be certified to receive services from the Bureau. So if these people chose not to join the tribes, but their parents' name, even though their parents' names is on the rolls or is part of those tribes, they can't get services because they decided not to affiliate themselves. But if they decided not to affiliate themselves, didn't mean that they decided to do away with their damn identity, right?
they didn't know that.
Because
they wanted to
they
keep their
probably
house
didn't
and
know
not
that
have to move
many
to the
years
project.
later that I don't something don't make this don't make no sense. Because we talking 1907, 1906, 1906 and prior to that. Were they being called Negroes prior to that? Chief?
Prior to what?
Prior to 1906, were the Indians being called Negroes and colored? Didn't that come in the 19 Walker Plecker time? What was that?
Right.
What
Yeah,
year was that?
it was definitely after. It was definitely.
When was the Walter Plecker years?
That's like 1920s.
Okay, so then
All this is happening at the same time. Absolutely. The Racial Integrity Acts, different things. Them coming up with the birth
Racial
certificate.
Integrity Act came 20 something years later, right?
It was
Yep.
like 1924, I thought.
Something like that. Yeah, 24, 27, something like that in that range.
So if that
Um,
happened then we were called Indians before we was called Negroes, colored.
talk to them again. You got to talk to
We
them
were
again.
called
There was a term.
Indians
There was a time when we were classified as Black Indians or Indians.
as
Because Indian is
Indians,
blackety black, bliggity black. Indian means black.
right?
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Okay, so
Stop
question
being emotional.
1924. Walter Plecker came way after the five civilized tribes was set up, and they called us Indians. So that's what we were, Indians, right? If Walter Plecker didn't start his shit until 1924, he said Negro, colored, or whatever. That's like 20 something years after 1906.
So they went back and changed it.
I mean, really, that's what it matters, right?
In 1906, they were saying Indians. We didn't hear Negro
Right.
and color until 1920 something. Is what I'm saying.
They wasn't
That's
calling them
right.
colors in the 1800s.
Probably wasn't in either.
No,
That
it
shit like
wasn't in
into
the
the 40s
1800s.
and
We
shit.
was called Indians in the 1800s. We had to be.
Okay.
Because if they're
Facts.
saying
We
this
were called
act,
Indians. That's a fact.
right. If they're saying right here, there were many instances where individuals simply chose not to seek tribal affiliation and did not make application for enrollment. Therefore, a person descended from Indians of the five civilized tribes who separated from their tribes and did not maintain tribal affiliation cannot be certified to receive services from the Bureau. So they were Indians in 1906. Now, fast forward 20 something years later, now they're Negro, color. So they were
Oh, so
Indian.
when they brought in the paperwork is when they start changing everything. They brought in the paperwork, then start putting different names down on the paperwork.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I'm
clever.
I'm talking about from identity purposes, right, Chief? So we were always called Indian. We were Indians. We were recognized as Indians first. And then they
That's right.
changed it to colored Negro, whatever, like 20 something years later. So prior to that, our parents and stuff that was born in like 1850 and 1830, they were called Indians. They were Indians, right? Because there was no word of Negro and colored, right?
Um, do they wait? So all we got to do is how do we
It's
prove it's
petition the Department of Interior and let them know who you are. And
no, I know, but like say I go back because I got family that was here. I got say my great grandmother on my dad's mother's side. She was born in November 1875 in North Carolina, Williamstown, North Carolina.
So she was considered an Indian, right?
No,
She
so
couldn't
when I
have had a
looked at
birth
the census,
certificate.
no. When I looked at the census roll, she was a little older in the 1900s. She moved to Louisiana. When I looked at the census record, they had her down as NEG, Negro, as far as I've seen it, and that was like 1920 maybe.
I'm trying to figure out when did they first start calling us Negroes colored? Because if in 1906, when they put this shit together, the five civilized tribes or whatever, we were Indians.
It had to
And
be then.
then, yeah, and then 1924, now Mr. Plucker comes out with Negro, black, colored. Something ain't right.
You're 100% right. It had to have been then.
They had to be Indians.
Yeah. So after 1906 is when they start changing everything. Because right before then, they didn't have all that nonsense.
Right. So we were the Indians because it tells you that a lot of us didn't want to join those tribes. And I can't imagine, just imagine why not. Because
Because
they
we
probably
we
saw
didn't
that white people was
we didn't
fucking
we
taking
didn't
over.
want to we didn't want to move from our homes and move to the projects. That was the first
Correct.
projects. That's what
I
it sounds
agree.
like. I can't be sure, but that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
shit. No, I ain't moving off my land. This is where I've lived my whole life. Fuck, I gotta
Yeah.
leave.
Right. Say you got 30, 40 acres, 50 acres, 100 acres. What the hell you gonna go live in the projects for?
Exactly.
Why you leaving your land? You can feed your family off the land. Y'all got you live on the land. What's going on? But
Mm-hmm.
we had acres, bro. We got hundreds of acres still right now amongst our people.
Man.
Like, so how did we get these acres? What happened? What's going on?
Right.
Something ain't right.
This shit crazy. It's not right. They've been
That's
lying
why
to us
I
this
brought
whole
this up.
time.
I said, wait a minute. We was Indians prior to 1906. And maybe a little bit after too. Because Walter didn't come out. I didn't hear the word Negro no time. I'm hearing Indians during 1906 at the creation of the five civilized tribes and the Dawes Rose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we were Indians, we didn't become Negroes in color until Walter Plecker's ass, right? Chief? That's a court fight right there. Yeah, because the Dawes Rose, yeah, that's right, Gretchen. The Dawes Rose sign up ended in 1906. So we are the Indians and we are the descendants of those people who did not want to affiliate themselves with the tribes. But that doesn't mean that we're not Indians and this is not our land. Fuck that.
So
I don't
Department of
know, Chief. What you think? I'm this just troubled me all day. That's why I put this together, and it's really troubling me. And it sounds like a huge lawsuit. It sounds like this is a need for a huge protest to Congress. This sounds like what Martin Luther King was talking about. We coming for our fucking check.
Well,
Facts.
are a lot of people going to listen to that?
We coming for our check, huh?
Are a lot of people going to listen to that, or
Well, it made. What had happened when they did the Million Man March? The Million Man March didn't result of shit, but this we got a
yeah.
reason.
But you got to convince people because y'all still got people arguing with y'all. I be wanting to come on the chat. So I mean on the panel so bad, but then when I be hearing y'all argue, I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, I ain't
It's
trying to get
terrible.
no
I don't like
argument.
when it gets like that either because you can't resolve nothing. But you know
Yeah,
what?
it's just a bunch of yelling.
Yeah, it is, and this is grossly disgusting. But the hell with the Pan Africans. We need to get this out to our people, this information out to our people. We're the descendants. Many of us are the descendants of the Indians. Let me see. Of ancestors who didn't want to enroll. Persons descended from Indians of the tribes who separated from their tribes and did not maintain tribal cannot be certified. So in other words, yeah, our ancestors' names is on the 5 civilized tribes, but we ain't want to fucking join because they probably back then it probably was some bullshit. I mean, cause why would anybody walk away from being affiliated with a tribe? It must be a reason why they wouldn't have wanted to sign up.
Nowadays, yeah. Nowadays you can see that.
I mean, I
So
can't see back then why they wouldn't want to be a part. Were they fighting? I mean, were they fighting amongst each other? They couldn't get anything resolved. Were they against each other? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Chief? Why would all these black people not want to be a part of be with their
I mean,
families?
because people knew. Like I read this book, right, and they were
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And it was a time period piece, right, and they were talking about Sitting Bull and them, or Crazy Horse and them, right. So they're talking about Crazy Horse and them, how they was getting at each other, how different tribes was fighting, going and raiding other tribes, stuff like that. During the
Mm-hmm.
same time, while the Pale Man hadn't even crossed the Mississippi yet. You understand what I'm saying? And we had the numbers, you know what I'm saying, but we didn't have the organization. Even though they still had the guns and stuff like that or whatever, they still couldn't fuck with us because we knew the land, we knew certain things. But I get out of it that they beat us by dividing and conquering us. They beat Crazy Horse them because at some point, strong ones said, you know what, we give up and we're gonna work with these people because of the pressure that was being put on them from chiefs getting drunk, right, and signing shit, you know what I'm saying, or just becoming prisoners, you know what I'm saying. It was just so many things that they was doing to us to break our spirits, right. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. They took away our ability to hunt and shit for ourselves, right.
How
People don't
though?
hunt
How
like
did
that
they
no
take
more.
our
Like people go
ability?
hunting and stuff, right? These people still hunt. We the only ones are not connected to hunting, right?
How
Because they
come?
alienated us
Why?
away from our feeding ourselves. You see what I'm saying? What did you say, sis?
How did they take us away from hunting and stuff? Our talents like that. What was done that took us away from it?
Once again, if you say, okay, I'm gonna come out this system and I'm gonna go into this system, right? They killed our buffalo. They
Oh.
killed, you know what I'm saying? So they said, okay, we'll kill your way how you sustain your life. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make you come buy your food from us. That's how they beating us. I'm like, that's it. Like everything is
Oh, okay.
economics. Everything is revenue. Wars are fought over resources. Okay, so At some point, we got to get our minds together. How do we get the resources of America? That's participating in the American dream, participating in the American. Like, we can't say that we're past the part of our ancestors signing up with these people, because we all got birth certificates. So that means that somebody somewhere in your direct family gave up. Okay? So we can't fight that goddamn fight. That's over. So how do we beat this thing? Okay, you can't beat them, join them. Y'all follow me? This is our country. It's America first. We are the first Americans. Okay?
Right.
Not saying that we mad at any immigrants coming here, but guess what? If I was a guest and I naturalized to become a German, right? I'm still gonna pay homage into the German people. I'm gonna learn German. I'm gonna work within the German economy, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? If I start a business or whatever, I'm gonna be working within the German economy. Okay, I'm not gonna be cheating the German people. I'm not gonna be doing the German people wrong. Right?
Right.
Okay, so these people have came to our land and are abusing us. Okay, whatever tricks they played or whatever they did or whatever, those things are over. There's no law that says black people are underneath white people. That's a social mores that you need to throw the fuck away. You are a coward. You never need to speak to people ever again on no fucking platforms or nothing and tell these young men that they are being dominated by a dominant society. You a fuck nigga. Okay? I'm gonna say that till they close my eyes. I'm telling y'all, them some fuck niggas.
Talk to him, G.
Okay? What the fuck? Any grown ass, listen, y'all, I promise y'all, listen, me and this brother right here, I've never met this brother right here before, but I can guarantee you, Original Nighthawk is not gonna be sitting around. We're not gonna sit around and be listening to another man tell us that we some dominated men. We're not gonna do that. Nah. I'm gonna ask him to stop, and then once he don't stop, we're gonna be fighting this bitch. Fuck is wrong with you? I would never let no man tell me I'm being dominated by somebody else. I would never let that happen. So he gonna have to shut his goddamn mouth around me. Fuck is wrong with you? I would never let no nigga tell us that. I would never let no man sit around and tell these young men that they dominated by somebody else. You a fuck nigga, bro.
Right.
And I don't understand why people don't see this, bro. This is why we are losing.
Yeah.
You can read a piece of paper and then tell her, see right here, the white man been dominating you since the 1800s. Fuck off, nigga. Fuck is wrong with you? That's our problem. Remember, we were still the warriors on this land. We were still doing certain things. Just because they tell you a story, that don't mean nothing.
That's
that
true.
Like our existence come from a reservation or come from whatever. What about all the stuff? Remember, in 1906, what was we building in Oklahoma at that time? See how this works? What was we building in California? What was we building in the 1900s? What was we building in Detroit? What was we building in Chicago? What was we building in New York? What was we building? What did we have in North Carolina in the early 1900s? Y'all understand what I'm saying? How do we get to the point we are right now? That's what we got to say. How did they get to the position of economic power over us? How did it happen?
I think it was the Great Depression, man. Me personally,
I think our issues happened before the Great Depression, because the Great Depression was in the 1930s.
I thought it was I feel like
the Great Depression is when the stock market crashed.
I feel like that was one of the last straws. We were still there.
Did we as a people have stock? We wasn't investing like that.
You don't think so? All that land we had, you think they took it from us the first time they tried to get it from us?
Well, okay, I can't remember in Dane's video. Remember he was showing us the Black Wall Street, how black businesses was booming. Yes, what years was that?
The 18. No. Yeah, 1860s or 70s.
Yeah, I mean, he was showing us all these.
He did show it.
He was pointing out, like, I don't see no slaves. They're not dressed like no slave. Don't sound like no slave to me. I mean, we had a booming era when we had black farmers, right?
It was 1920s, 1921.
But if that's the case, then
let me rephrase it. That's when they say. That's when they say. I don't know how true it is, but that's when
1921. But that's when Malcolm X was out.
Until until 19. Hold on, let me read this off. Let me actually keep looking into it until.
Fighting for
No,
us
yeah,
in the
Malcolm X went
1920s.
out in the 1920s.
No,
That was
he couldn't have been out in the 1920s, right?
yeah, he wasn't out in 1920s. He didn't come in until like the 50s. But you had what was going on in 1920? Once again,
Oh no, that's
we had economic, and we had an economic base in 1920s in America, right? Y'all remember Reconstruction? Reconstruction went from what 1870 to what 18. Well, it was like a 20-year period, right? 1865 to 1885 or some shit like that.
something
It
like
was
that.
it was like a 10 to 20-year period, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they were reconstructing
Right?
history, but yeah.
Yeah, bro, they reconstructed history. They was not here to to put it together the first time, to break it apart, and then to reconstruct it. They was not here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They are lying. They are rewriting history. It's called the Daughters of the Confederation.
That's
Okay?
when they started. That's when they started. 1865.
Okay.
When the 13th
Okay.
Amendment
So
was
in
approved.
1920, right, we had everything in America. We had baseball leagues, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of shit going on in 1920s. So from 1920 to 1930, what happened? What happened? I mean, from 1920 to 1950, that 30-year period, something happened in America. What happened was criminal immigrants came to this country. I'm going to say this again. Criminal immigrants came to this country.
Mm-hmm.
That's your
Do y'all
boy
get
Trump.
this?
That's his daddy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Criminals came to this
That's your
motherfucker,
boy.
bro.
That's your boy
Criminals.
Trump daddy.
And they'll tell you, they say, yeah, we sent all our criminals over there. Sorry. You see what I'm saying? So we're in a position where we get like somebody can pull out a piece of paper and then we all bow down to the fucking piece of paper. I'm like, bro, I'm smoke you in the paper, motherfucker. Like, what is you talking about? Like that shit right there don't mean nothing. It's a piece of paper. But we allow them to say that they wrote a piece of paper back in the days, and we still allow this to socially, politically, economically control us in 2020. That's dumb. Socially, politically, economically control us in 2020. That's dumb. Socially, politically, economically control us in 2020.
So
Yeah, somebody got playback.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. Sis. Hey, sis, how you?
Fine. How are you?
Great. I think this is my first time seeing you. So peace. How are you, sis?
Fine. How are you?
Great. Where are you tuned in from the nicest?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Whoa, okay. Indianapolis. Nap Town's in the building. I see Diva Glam Studio in the building. Peace to Diva Glam in the building.
That's me.
Sis, okay. What's on your mind from the great state of Indiana?
Okay, so
Indian town.
basically what happened during those time periods, you got to understand that there was the education, they was re-educating us. Then there was a big boom with the religion. So
This was in the 18th or the 19th?
what year are you talking about, sis?
I'm talking between the 1900s all the way until like the 1930s. Because remember, we had a lot of black ministers. So they was incorporating religion into us, and that's how we lost our spirits. So we lost our identities through the religion and through education.
Talk that Bible belt, sis.
So, and that's where we are today. It's still the same thing. We big on religion and we big on education. And where's that got us?
To the projects and housing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yo, like I said, man, I say this all the time. Once again, we know the problem. The problem right now, sisters and brothers, is the fact that we are economically dependent. That makes you a slave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
As soon as we turn around and say, you know what, let's start us. There's plenty of land out here, right? Let's go start a city, right? Matter of fact, let's go buy an old ass town, right? And we become the council members. We become the people who create let's just say everything that we create the legal aspect of it. We create the law. We create the whatever we got going on, because this is our land. We can say what the hell we want to say, how we want to put this together. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need an army.
But the yeah, see that's the whole problem right there, right? Like, we just got to get organized.
All our
Like, here's the thing, right?
We need
If
an
we,
army to fight,
I say
not
this all the time.
necessarily
Once we organize, nobody will fuck with us. Nobody want to see 10,000 niggas nowhere. Nobody want to see us. I'm telling y'all, nobody want to see 10,000 of us. Imagine if 1 million of us got on the same page.
Facts.
We'll shut shit down. They don't want to see 10,000 of us, let alone 1 million of us. So one thing I can say about the Million Man March, great idea. That means that we know that we can get 1 million to 2 million of us in one place, right? With the right leader, and not a scratch. Nobody gonna argue. Nobody gonna say nothing in that meeting of those 2 million brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was a real economic plan attached to those 2 million, where those 2 million brothers could now have economic empowerment back in their communities where they went back to, that was what would have made the Million fucking Man March powerful. That we would have bonded together and created goddamn industry and protection in our fucking communities. That's it. I don't give a fuck about nothing that nobody else say. I've been around long enough to see what the fuck has happened in the past and what we could do today for the future. Period. And it is get economically independent. We are dependent slaves. Okay. Even though I say slavery's fake, I'm talking about the whole chattel and all of us was beat like Kunta Kinte, stuff like that. But when I say that we are all employed by these people, employment is slavery. If you allow your children to be educated by middle-aged or so-called pale women, right, they are their masters. Do you get it?
1860s.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is what we don't understand, and they understand the fact that they don't want to be educated by us. They don't want to work for us because they understand what employment is. It is bondage. It is slavery. Okay, you are going into a contract with somebody. That's it.
Yeah.
They just have laws now and things. They got to pay you a minimum wage, and you can only work so many hours, and y'all understand what I'm saying? You can only be so a certain age. They have child protection laws now.
They got over.
Yeah, they got child protection laws because how they dogged out the European children that they brought over here. These motherfuckers barely lasted a year in they servitude when they came over here. They barely lasted a year, bro, let alone to say that they came over here, lasted 14 years, 7 years, 14 years, and then been able to come from that situation and then own some land. Really? You believe that? See, this is the problem. Y'all believe every goddamn thing. Y'all believe that every white man that came here with a silver spoon up his ass. Fuck out of here, man.
No,
them
we know that. We know that. That's proven. They was disgusting.
Dog poor.
They lived in the nasty areas. They lived in the dirty.
Part.
They lived and worked their way out. We the only ones who got in there and still ain't worked our way out.
They still never.
That's because we can't get together. Like, once again, we want to kill each other. We want to kill each other. And once again, like I said, whatever the Minister Louis Farrakhan, it's not too many men that can bring us together without having an issue. So that's one thing I can say that is great about that situation, right? But if we could do it then, we could do it now. If we could do it in 2020, if we could do it in 95, then we could do it in 2020. Sorry.
I agree.
Right?
Right.
So that's our goddamn problem, man. We don't have, like, I'm sorry. Okay, what's the plan? What's the plan for Aboriginal America? What's the plan for Black America? Right? Have y'all heard of anybody that got a plan other than us?
No.
Does the NAACP fucking got a plan for us?
Oh my God.
No.
They ain't shit, man.
Oh, okay. What about the Urban League? What about the churches? What about the Baptist church or the Calvinists? Nobody got a plan for us, bro.
No, they don't. They want you to come in there, shout, clap your hands, do tangerines, and go home and deal with these motherfuckers at work all day. Talking about that'll get you through the week. Fuck you.
Talk to him.
Your prayer on Sunday get you through the week.
Hey, that's like a good slave. That's a good slave right there. Hey, go be a good slave. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the whole concept, y'all. That's how they doing this right now. We getting played. Real talk.
Peace to the family. What's up with it?
Peace.
Top cat. Peace, King.
Hey, man, y'all in here chopping it up. Hey, you know what? I don't mean to jump back into it, but this the type of shit you're gonna need to win that debate. You know what I'm saying? What I noticed about them, man, is they have no sense of real American history. You know what I'm saying? So that's really where you're gonna win them on. And I figured out what they looking for. They want us to be these niggas out here with the feathers and all of that shit, like these horse. I mean, like these niggas riding horses and all that. They want us. They trying to find us in that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to look at the culture, man, down south. I was talking to what's that nigga name, Psycho, today, and he told me that Texas is a beef state. I'm from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm tapping into them with the Mississippi culture because what they gonna have to explain. First off, you're gonna have the black belt line down there coming out of the Carolinas down through the Mississippi. That's a certain type of soil. And this is why slavery was real important down south, why they needed the resources from down south coming out of the black belt line down there. And I told them, man, you're not gonna have nobody coming from Africa that's gonna know this type of shit. Even the goddamn Florida wars down there with the Seminole. The reason why they won, not because they had more technology or weapons to fight them off, because they understood the land. And you're not finna get no nigga from West Africa who gonna navigate through no motherfucking swamps and bayous like that. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So their greatest strength was them actually knowing the land down there. Another thing, when we was talking about the food and shit, I had showed him, I said, man, you got the Mississippi culture stretched all the way down through East Texas. My people know them out of East Texas. That's how they end up on the reservation in East Texas. But I was telling him, we still cook on the ground over there. This nigga tell me, man, they don't eat pork down there in Texas. Nigga, you don't know what you talking about. The same culture stretched from down south, go all the way through the Midwest, Ohio, everything. They eat the same shit we eat down here in Texas. When you talking about chitlins and quote unquote what they call soul food and all that, that's called culture. When you that's why when you go to a Mexican restaurant or Italian restaurant, it's culture. You going there for the culture. If you come to see us and you want this particular type of dish, you gotta come fuck with us. That's culture. And this shit been in our family. Now you ain't finna tell me no niggas was enslaved all around the US, but they eating the same shit. Right? That's culture.
Right.
We cook down here. I had to tell this nigga, you talking about Texas is a beef state. I say you listening to them white folks. Cause down here niggas eat pork. All right, you make grease out of bacon, out of bacon.
Some damn hot sauce and chitlins.
You got down with Big Mama cook a bean, she put pork in that motherfucker, or what you call quote unquote salt meat. You know what I'm saying? We eat with vegetables. Everything we eat with bell pepper, onion, motherfucking red peppers, and all this type of shit. Nigga, that's culture. All right, we ain't all goddamn eating the same thing. You ain't finna catch us out here, whoa, and jumping up and down and all that type of shit. No. But one thing we did understand was the land, and that's where you get sharecropping. You're not gonna spend all your resources to bring a nigga from Africa when motherfuckers right here doing the same thing. Who gonna do it better than them? They know when to put the shit down there and pick it up. And so it's just different shit, a lot that they ain't understanding. When you go back into the government, all right, when they talking U.S. history, meaning this the history when them niggas got their shit going, and when they came out with the Constitution and all that. That was they history from they play from there on. They didn't get a tight hold on this shit until the 1800s, the middle of the 1800s, when they quote unquote the Emancipation Proclamation around there. They still was fighting quote unquote different Indian tribes at that time. They never got a hold on this shit. This shit ain't been that long since they had a hold on it. You know what I'm saying?
And here's the nail in their coffin. Here's the nail in their old African coffin. Who was running the seas in the 1800s over there? Who was running the Mediterranean Sea? Who was running the Atlantic Ocean?
Okay, you see, look, you go back to their Barbary Wars, right?
We got the Barbary slavery. We got the Barbary Wars.
End of the 1700s through the 1800s. That's why I say they ain't get a hold of this shit until the 1800s.
They didn't even go into Africa like that until the 1900s. They're liars.
Bro, they was getting jacked. By the quote unquote people.
Africans still like, come on, bro.
Yeah, they was getting their ships jacked and shit. Every ship came through there, they was getting that whole jack.
And them niggas was getting put in slavery. So
Facts.
I'm working on this thing, man. I don't want to. I don't until I got the evidence of it. But you know how they say, oh, well, Christopher Columbus came here. You know what I'm saying? And discovered America, whatever, right? Okay. So let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that all the wars that they lost, that they didn't get put on boats and shipped to America as slaves? Y'all don't believe that. Y'all believe that the first time a cracker came to this land was Christopher Columbus. You
He came to South America. No,
Yeah,
we don't.
he went to
No,
Hispaniola.
I'm just saying Americas in general. Like y'all actually believe that as big as this landmass is, that's the first time that a pale person came to this land with Christopher Columbus in 1492.
No, because you
Do you
see,
really believe that?
Columbus, he got his game from he set up under some motherfuckers. He said his memoir and he watched them, and also his old man, well, his stepdaddy was over the Nicer Christ. When they went underground, the Nicer Templars went underground. His mama started fucking with a nigga who was the Grand Master over some shit called the Nicer Christ. So he got a lot of his the maps, and he knew stories about the quote unquote they call the New World from these different secret Christian organizations. So we can't.
So people was already coming.
It was a big ass
So let me.
holy war.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. So the Barbary Coast pirates, right? We call them pirates. Were they coming back and forth to America?
They was running the Mississippi.
Okay, so they never brought no white slaves here, ever.
You know they did. They hated the motherfuckers.
All right, okay. I just wanted to put that out there, like, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, that doesn't make any sense, right? It literally makes no sense for us to believe that that's their origin when they came to this land. That once again you go along the story because the captain of the boat was a brother.
Fact.
Okay,
Fact.
so what was
black who brought him over here?
Right, so that was his first trip.
Yeah, nah, them niggas had been coming back. They was hustling. That's why you always gotta follow the money. All this shit was a hustle. The U.S. they ain't really when you go through the King Philip's wars up there in the colonies and shit when they issued the black codes and all of that. Or you can go back to I think it was 1674 when they did the first treaty with the Powhatan. They were still fighting them. They had ended up getting a little piece of land and they signed their first treaty saying they couldn't cross the land, but the Powhatans broke that shit and they took them to war. But you had see I think that's the part you're gonna get them on. They don't know American history. You know what I'm saying? You can get them on that. Even y'all familiar with the Iroquois and Benjamin Franklin and the Iroquois when they helped them out on the U.S. Constitution. They helped them form it.
Yeah, we do know that.
Yeah, see that type of shit right there. That's what you're gonna have to talk
taught us about that.
Blind ass Moors talking about they had a government right. Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
Yo,
peace, AP.
Peace to the gods.
Peace, AP. Peace. Who's that?
Peace.
Peace. What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
What's up, nonetheless? Peace.
What up, Sister Betty? What's up?
Hey.
What up? What's up, Chief? Who else on here? My man was just I forgot. Man, I'm bad with names, bro.
Peace. Can you turn up?
What's going on, bro? Look, man, I mean, y'all still arguing with those Pan-African motherfuckers. Yo, we done smashed them like about 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if y'all still want to, you know, communicate with them, I'm cool with it. But that's like light work right now, you know? So, you know, like I said, you know, long time ago, you can smash them with the white slavery. The white slavery shuts all this bullshit down that they talking about. Because these people coming in with simple solutions to a complex, you know, situation. Slavery is not as cut and dry as gathering some motherfuckers up, you know what I mean, across the waters and then bringing them back over here. That shit's stupid as fuck. You can't do that shit. That the whole slavery shit been going on for longer than civilization really been around, you know, and it's all due to the law merchant. So when you understand what the law merchant is, that's a whole system of you with pretty much, and it goes back to ancient texts. You can understand the principles behind what's going on. All your main goal when you're trying to take over people is to have them rely on you for
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, for knowledge, for you want to accommodate them, and the whole trickery is to not fall for the bullshit. So when they trick you into dependency on them, now they got you after the next generation. Now, when you talk about slavery, that comes in several different components. The main one that he tried to teach us is that the war, you know, after the war, the people go into slavery, you know, or they work off a debt. Now you can put people into slavery through the court system by charging them. That's why they always trying to charge us with something. They constantly trying to charge us with something because that goes into, like I said, the law merchant and putting warrants of attachment to body attachments, and now you must pay off the debt. Now, when they talk about the white slaves that was trying to sail over here and they trying to take over trade routes, and these pirates come and snatch them up and put them into slavery, that's a whole different type of slavery because now you're gathering up people and they come from a noble background. You can easily tell that from their hands. They would look at your hands, see if your hands were smooth. They knew you came from a good family. They will hold you for ransom. You see what I'm saying? And then communicate with the family, and then the family would pay to get you back. The ones that had rough, they knew that they was poor. Those people were going to slavery. So to say that all people, especially over here, when we was already dealing with agriculture, we didn't really have to trade like that because that's why we were so independent, and we didn't really have an understanding of uh uh the whole commercialized system that was going around the world. The Europeans knew about that shit because they couldn't grow shit. So all they was doing was trading their women, trading furs, catching beasts and shit, selling shit. That's all they knew. We didn't have to do that because we was growing our own shit. We was on our own land with our own people growing, doing our own shit. We might have bartered, tribe to tribe, but we didn't trade or have it as a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? So when you really do the research, it's simple because even back then we wasn't really dealing with the American government like that and giving putting out business. It was taboo to talk about our dead ancestors or a woman to really talk about her husband or nothing like that. And they try to force that out of us, and a lot of us wasn't even talking to them like that. So how are we gonna be on some roles when we wasn't even communicating with them like that? We knew that was their shit. But some of us did, because of the confusion. Some tribes sold out like the five civilized. Those was pretty much the ones that sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Now
And you
that's
can
a
eat.
fact. That's where you get the whole the name civilized tribe
Yeah, they
through the
bro.
civilization plan. This was around
Right.
when the Creeks and the Cherokee was fighting each other. That's when
Yeah.
they started introducing this civilized plan. You gotta watch that whole John Ross too. All
Yeah.
that time he spun up there in Washington and shit, and that nigga act like he was trying to see. He was trying to build a whole land to himself. He wanted all that shit down there to himself. He was trying to make them a sovereign nation and shit, but he was still trying to do business. And they steamrolled his motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? But the Creeks and the Cherokee fighting each other. A lot of them was the same people. A lot of them came down out of the Carolinas, the Florida and shit, and relocated down there in Georgia too. That's why a lot of them tribes they went all full blooded. You had different motherfuckers coming to get down that was evading the wars and shit. But you go, it always gonna end up going back to the Iroquois nation when you're dealing with that side. Or that's who later became the quote unquote Cherokee. Which just mean these were people who was holding governments, who
Hey,
tribes who was holding forms of
can,
government.
can
That's why
I ask
But
the,
everyone's
can
dealing.
I ask the panel something? I'm sorry. Can I ask the panel something?
go ahead,
Turn
bro.
up.
Did we just take over the Sister Bethy
No,
channel?
no, 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 no. I wanted y'all to come
Oh,
in because I'm taking
okay,
notes. I'm taking
okay,
notes while
okay.
y'all
No,
talking.
I'm just making sure. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
Yo,
just making
no.
sure.
Absolutely
I
not.
want to make sure you still here.
Oh yeah.
You
I'm
know, this
eating.
what
I
I'm
just don't
here
want
for.
nobody to see me
I'm,
chomping.
I'm here for
nah.
you. I'm trying to, but no, I just wanted to make sure. And I'm,
Yeah,
uh,
you right, bro. Sit the best. We going off topic. Just let us know because we want to keep it on the same frequency that you want us to be on as far as the genealogy and what really
right,
went
right.
on.
That's all I wanted to make sure
Yeah,
of
yeah,
too. I
I
just,
feel you.
I just
No,
wondering.
because all this goes in.
Right. Yeah, but
No, leads
Okay,
up to this. So
all
what
right,
you're talking about is really on point.
okay. Well, okay. Well,
cool.
let me
I'm
just say this.
enjoying it.
Let me just say this because a lot of this stuff has to go.
Yeah, yeah,
This
me
what
too.
makes the genealogy so difficult, but it's not really difficult. We can still use it to our advantage. But what people gotta understand, especially these people that don't really research, that's outside of outside of the community that's from the Americas. We had a problem with these white nations coming over here because it was influxes of them. So it's not just the United States records we have to pay attention to. You had England, France, Spain, and the United States. All of
The
them.
Irish.
You see what I'm saying? So all of them was ran by certain ones. So if you look at the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Cherokee, and the Creek, and the Seminoles down is in Spain territory for a while. Then you got up north, which or the Choctaw, which was really for the most part ran by the French in the 1600s, the early 1600s, all the way to the 1700s. Then you had the British up north through in the New York, the Virginia area, all in West Virginia. Those people was considered the Cherokees. You know what I'm saying? But so now when you understand that you have the five civilized tribes, but these tribes was all invaded by either the French, England, the English, the French, the Spanish, and you had the United States, which was all a conglomerate, all three white nations that was trying to get their independence from the Brit, from British. So how in the hell can they come over here with slaves when they was all trying to escape the monarchy over in Britain? You see what I'm saying? So now when
Facts.
you see what I'm saying? So our people understood that. See, we coming here all late to the game like our ancestors ain't know what the fuck was going on back then. We wasn't fucking with these dumbass motherfuckers that's trying to get free over here, and then y'all want to come over here and try to assimilate us into y'all system. You know what I'm saying? We like y'all ain't nothing but slaves. We helping y'all out. But y'all want to come here and try to enumerate us and put us on your rolls and shit. You see what I'm saying? So the shit don't really make any sense when you really put yourself in our people's shoes back then. Like, yo, we wasn't even fucking with y'all like that. You understand? But after all of the sellout shit started to happen, we had really no choice. We had to start defending ourselves and say, okay, now we gotta leave. We had satellite bands and shit that got assimilate into the creeks, into the and calling Cherokees at all these white people in there and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yes, this is when the friction started coming in. Like, okay, y'all some the country people started looking like like the people going up north with sellouts. But you gotta understand, man, it was a lot of fucking Ku Klux Klan. We all secluded, and you got these crazy, dirty, scary looking white people coming out for nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And we got women and children in our family. We had to leave. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of us not going to be on the rolls. You can't just look at the Dawes rolls or the what's the other rolls they
Or the
had?
fact the Baker rolls or
Yeah, so
Gillian
many.
rolls, all them different damn rolls. But they came with us with weapons that we weren't prepared for.
Facts.
Yeah, yes. So
Because prior to
yes,
that, they couldn't take us down head up.
right. So now the way of
But
life.
then, but then too, you got to think about it too, because we had all them damn new immigrants. Most of them
Right,
motherfuckers was Irish.
right,
Yes.
That's where we
Yeah,
got
you
the
gotta
Yes.
really look
Bloods.
at the
That's where we
Irish.
got the Ku Klux Klan.
Yep.
Them
right.
motherfuckers was Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The Irish was deep down here in Texas. They had a real good relationship with the Cherokees down here in Texas. A lot of motherfuckers when they go back in their ancestry down in Texas, they'll fuck around and have some Irish blood in them. All them niggas coming out of East Texas and shit. They gave all of that land through East Texas, Texarkana, all the way down to that was our Indian territory. It ended up switching up. Them hoes end up selling it back. The main reservation I'm talking about is Coshada, Alabama Coshada tribe. That's where my grandpa buried it. And the rest of his family. Them motherfuckers, and they got them listed as mulatto on there, but they came in as Creeks. They really Creeks. But they didn't switch the whole. Ain't no fucking tribe called Alabama or Coshada. That shit made up. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, my people and them signed up as Creeks. But they end up so we got some shit going on right now in the courts with them hoes. My people now got some shit going on right now with them in the courts. Y'all know in 79 they came back and did a new constitution. You know what I'm saying? And they started kicking out the quote unquote black Indians in their family. Cause them niggas, my family, that part of my family, them whole blue, black, purple, blacker than a million midnights over there. You know what I'm saying? But they got what they call good hair though. You know what I'm saying? That y'all know how they said they got good hair. This my thing too, man. Out of all the people in the South, man, if you come from the South, somebody in your family told you had Indian in your family. And if you had Indian in your family, what the fuck that make you? It's not a coincidence that you got to go look for the African and you have no connection with your African, but people in your direct family telling you that you Indian. And somebody else came and told you that you was an African. Not saying that they know. I'm not gonna throw everything out, because I know how much. When they invented the cotton gin for Britain, when the British came with the cotton gin, they was paying top dollar, like $19 for cotton. And so that shit there made it. That's why they rushed down to the South. But we still can't miss the fact that in the 1600s they were sending slaves from the East Coast to the Southeast in the Caribbean in the 1600s. That's why I always tell them niggas always talking about the African slave trade, but in America supposedly got the least of the motherfucking slaves out of everybody. But I guarantee you, it was more niggas left out this motherfucker that came in this motherfucker if they want to. But they don't even understand that it was a slave trade going on over here. You had, especially in the Southeast, the British was giving them hoes guns to go up in there, and they knew them niggas only had bow and arrows to go in there and lay the shit down. You know what I'm saying? And once they captured them niggas' village, they tribes, they will take them into slavery. And then, like I say, this was especially around the 1700s when the war was going on. A lot of them Cherokees, them niggas use weapons on in that Muskegee War. They use weapons on them people that they ain't have. That's how they end up fucking them off like that. But they took a lot of them people in slavery. That's why when they always talk about the motherfucking the Trail of Tears. Listen, man, when you go down south, you don't see no motherfucking people look like them who they say Indians is. You don't see number niggas down there.
Yeah, and you don't see number niggas in the Caribbean islands and shit too, right? Hey, but so check this out though, right? It's going along with what Nonetheless was just saying and what you were just saying, right? I was just looking at a comment from a sister, Happy Gut, Happy Life, right? And said, read 13 Black Colonies. I actually read that book, right? So, but I want to go to this and want to read something for y'all. Okay. Now, this is very, 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 very important. Okay. All right. It's giving a description of this book. Okay. Now, it says, this is the description of this book. It says, the research in this book will prove that the 13 British colonies were founded by 4 Black Scottish kings. What's going on?
Scottish kings.
Scottish kings, and I'm going to name them. Kings, King James the Sixth of Scotland, King Charles I, King Charles II, King James II, the Duke of York, and King George II of England. This book features the testimony of former Secret Service agent John Mackey of England, in which he gives Black descriptions of the princes, nobles, dukes, and kings of England. This book also features a ship manifest that describes the Jacobites, while they are boarding the convict ships to the Americas as brown, black, swarthy, and ruddy people. These are not the only documents that validate the claims of this book. We have the writings of Thomas Jefferson, Professor Boyd Dawkins, Benjamin Franklin, and much more.
Wow. Wow. What a ball buster.
Yo, and we might as well get into this too, because I wanted to break this stuff down. Sister Betty, you are you gonna still do the
No, I'm pretty much
cards?
done. Huh?
I want to know. Oh, you're gonna say the cards?
Yeah, I'll save it for next week because we've been on. I try not to go past 2 hours. I mean, it's going to be weekly, so we could just strictly do the cards all next week.
Right.
Why?
Well, no, that's cool. We can definitely
I
shut it
figured
down.
next
But
week we could just do all the cards because this conversation, I'm really loving this right now. Honestly, I could close my show out and they could keep it moving, Chief. What you think?
let's do it.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I love you all. Next week, I'll do the index cards. I'm gonna pull them and show you what's within the cards after somebody gives their roll number. So that'll be pretty interesting next week. But thanks, Chief. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Peace and
I'm
love,
going.
Sister Betty.
Peace and love,
Thank
sis.
you. I'm going in the chat room now.
All right, peace.
Okay, so all right, we're gonna close it down and just start another one.
Yep.
Okay. All right, y'all. So yeah, y'all can stay on here. I'm just gonna close it down and start it. And we can talk about. I want to get back into this white slavery stuff, y'all. So we'll get to that. All right. So peace, and that's the Sister Betty Love Show, tracing your lineage, episode number 5. So that's in the books. Shout out to Sister Betty, and we're going to shut this down. Peace and love to all American Aborigines. We're in the building.